What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Open Door Podcast. We are live, and I have we got the world according to Jim, and we have Neon Vacation here for kind of a cool little episode. We're going to talk about the history of Las Vegas, the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to know everything about it. I honestly I don't know much about Vegas. I just know I've been trying to get there since I was really young, and it's just never really raised the money. Now I have the kind of money I could definitely go, but nope, I got to save that for the Philippines trip because I'm going to go see my Ellen. But we will be in Vegas soon, I'm sure. But yeah, so I don't know. You guys want to start with something about maybe a little bit of the history of Las Vegas, or what do you guys think?
I can let you know a little bit about how the city got started.
Yeah, all right.
So back in way before we get in any of the gambling era or any of the, entertainment era, it was obviously just a railroad community, and the railroad would stop through there. And even decades before that, the Mormons came through there and they set up there I go. I was buffering for a second.
The signal, yeah.
But so the Mormons came through and set up the old Mormon fort right outside of downtown Las Vegas, which is still there. I don't know if you've ever been there, Jim. It's still there. I've seen it. I haven't really spent a lot of time there, but my next trip I plan on spending a little bit more time there. But so they set up that old Mormon fort, and that's what it's called now, the old Mormon fort. And 2 years later, with all the fighting with the Mormons and a couple other things went bad, they left and went back to Utah, Brigham Young, and they left the fort basically abandoned. And a few people picked up on it over the years, like can't remember his name, but his wife's name was Helen Stewart. After Archibald Stewart died, his wife took over what was the old Mormon fort, and they ran it as a ranch for people coming through. And for years they ran it as a ranch, and it was just, that's what that area meant, to people. Vegas obviously means the meadows, and there was running water, so people would stop through on this, what they called the old Spanish Trail back then. They would come through, that's how they would cut through the Vegas Valley.
Yeah.
And they would stop there. But after what was his name? I got notes here. Can't remember his name. The senator, was it Clark? Senator Clark, yeah. Clark was building a railroad. So he bought the land from the Stewarts.
Like Lewis and Clark, that guy?
This was William Clark, the senator.
Oh, okay.
And so he was building the railroad, and that was his big dream. And he also became a big miner. He owned like some mines, and he was a big mining bigwig. So he wanted the land, and he bought it. And then the railroad came through, and then basically they wanted to set up that Vegas, where, if you know downtown Vegas now, Fremont Street and Clark and all those areas are named after all these guys. But so they set up an auction, and they sold off. And they started selling off lots of downtown. Yeah. That's how the little part of, that's the old Vegas. That's how it, basically started sprouting up.
Become big.
Yeah.
But wasn't it initially like 110 acres, and that was kind of the main street of Fremont? I mean, that's pretty much what it was Fremont.
Yep, and it was right off of the train tracks and the, whatever they called the drop-off point, the lumber yard, or railroad yard, or whatever they call that, on the other side of the tracks. And it was basically two little tent cities where people just, lived and whatever. But then in 1905, I think it was 1905, they auctioned off a bunch of land, and that's when, like we were just talking about, the Golden Gate, the original Golden Gate was called, I believe it was called the Nevada Hotel. I think that's all they called it, was just the Nevada Hotel. And that was there, and there was a few other hotels and establishments in that area. and then years later, it was just being run like that. And then years later, there was a railroad strike, and Vegas kind of took the brunt of it because they were like, a new city and all this stuff.
Right.
Luckily, right after the strike had happened, and it kind of shut down the city a little bit, which wasn't really a city yet. It was still unincorporated and everything. They luckily, that's when Hoover and all those guys. I mean, we're kind of jumped like 20 years, 20 years, but that's like when Herbert Hoover started the dam project. So he started bringing in people.
Hoover Dam. Is he behind vacuum cleaners too, or?
I think his first vacuum cleaner, yes, because it's very dusty in Vegas. A lot of sand.
And to get rid of the dust.
Yeah. So he started that, and he brought in a lot of people there, and let's see, that's about where it all starts. With after like the 30s and the dam project was over, then Hubert Hoover.
Hubert Hoover.
Yeah, he got.
Every state dam.
Yeah,
I think of Beavis and Butthead. Is this a goddamn?
So then,
I love that.
Yeah. So then, obviously, it was the Great Depression, and everybody loved Hoover. So
I asked him if Hoover invented the vacuum cleaner too. He said because there's a lot of dust.
Yeah. So then, obviously, he was elected president, and then he started the project before he was president. By the way.
That sounds familiar. Hoover, yeah.
Hoover did, yeah. He started the project before he became president, and then the Depression started, and then he got really popular because he was, for the people and gave jobs to all these, and even and then his wife, and his predecessor, who was that? Roosevelt, his wife too. They were big on like employing people during the Great Depression, and especially like blacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were really popular, but the only problem was Roosevelt. Was he a Democrat? I don't know my politics. So,
yeah, not either.
So he didn't want, because his predecessor, I should say, was Hoover. He didn't want his name on the dam, so that's why they changed it to the Boulder Dam, the name Boulder Dam instead of Hoover Dam. But anyway, after years down the road, they changed it back, and now it's always been Hoover Dam. But so after he did that, and then the town started getting bigger, they couldn't stay in Boulder City, like all the dam workers and stuff.
Those dam workers.
Yeah. They had to have some damn fun. So they went into Vegas, Vegas, the same year the project started, luckily or suspiciously, gambling was legalized in 1931.
Go figure.
Yeah, right? So that's where they went to Vegas to have all their fun and spend all their money. And that was the downtown area, and that's how that grew. And that was, until about the 40s, and then that's when basically the Strip started growing with mob influence, I guess you could say.
I added some moderators in the chat. Thank you guys all for being here. Lori Valenta, Patrick Hollett, OU Mike, World According to Abigail. So I was thinking, so they named it after Hoover, President Hoover, and I was just thinking, shit, Hoover Dam, and there's a Trump wall. So I just thought about that. I was like, fuck, I guess all the presidents are trying to get something named after him.
Nope.
I don't know if there's it's something named after Clinton or Obama or any of them.
Cigars and hookers are named after Clinton, I
think. Liquor and whores, no.
Yeah.
No, I think most of the workers from the dam, they went to what was called Paradise, which later became the Last Frontier Hotel, which was where they would spend their money.
Yep.
The unfortunate thing is they would get their paycheck, and then the next day they'd be broke. Yep. So that's how the first pawn shop came about.
Yep. Yep. The Paradise, was that in El Rancho, or was that I know it was a club in one of the first casinos. I think it was El Rancho. Right?
I think that was off of Highway 31, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And which later became, I think, the Boulder Highway. Isn't that what that road is at the time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
D. Duffy says everybody's trying to move away from Vegas because there isn't any law and order there, and it's dangerous. Since they're moving to now Alabama. I'll have a lot
I'd
of
love
new
to
neighbors.
tell you that's an accurate statement, but that's an inaccurate statement because more Californians are moving there at a higher rate. It's about 8.25% a month.
Well, they're used to the violence. They're like, fuck, you got violence, so do we.
Yeah, it's violent for however you see your violence. I don't think it's violent at all.
No,
unless you're in an area that's violent. But
there's too many outlet cities there. There's Henderson, there's Summerlin, there's toward the mountains, toward Red Rock, where you know it's such a beautiful area, and the homes there are outrageously expensive now compared to what they were 8 years ago. So
I think every area, no matter where you live, there's some dangerous areas of it. You know, like even here, like there's areas if you park your car for 5 minutes, you probably lose all your tires and shit.
Yeah,
you know. But,
a lot of people don't realize Vegas wasn't a city at all by any means back in the 40s. I mean, literally before World War II, it was still just a desert road with a few lounges and casinos around it. It didn't have this strip. I mean, they had them, you know, spread out a little bit. They had the strip. I don't know what they called it, whatever it was called, but
Arrowhead. It was Arrowhead Highway. That was the way you got to California. Yeah.
So then, like they say, during the 40s and or World War II anyway, Henderson became a town because they had a factory there that produced time effort. I can't remember what it was. Some metal or something that produced bullets or weapons or something. I don't know. But that's how Henderson became even an area where people moved to work, and they obviously put money into Vegas because there's gambling there. And then Henderson grew. And then luckily, TWA kicked what's his name off of there, or bought him out. What's his name? Howard Hughes. So he took all his money and moved to Vegas in like the 40s and stayed at the Desert Inn. Was that the 40s or 50s? I can't remember. But he was at like one of the first hotels, and he lived there. And
that was the Desert Inn.
Yeah, they tried to get him to move out because he was so eccentric. But this guy's got like what's equal to billions of dollars today that he just got from TWA because he was kind of nuts, but he was also a really smart guy and knew how to make money. But he was living there trying to stay, away from people. And he got his Mormon groups together, and they did business with him. He was like the only guy the only people that he would trust would be Mormons. It was kind of one of those weird stories where he would have them do his talking and his business, and he trusted them. Give them here's I don't know, whatever. Here's $1 million. Go buy the hotel I'm staying in right now, and they did. And then he owned it, and then he bought 5 more. And he's kind of the guy that started the incorporation of big casinos. You know what? That was the 50s because that's when the mob tried to buy him out, and then he wouldn't sell out to them. And that's when they started kind of filtering out what they were doing. I guess that was more like the 60s, wasn't it? Yeah, it must have been the 60s. So
1966 is when that happened. And just to kind of jump in there for a sec, Dale. He came in before New Year's.
Yes, you're right.
67. He wanted to stay in the penthouse. And at first they couldn't accommodate him. And of course he threw enough money at him, and then they gave him the room. But when New Year's Eve came, they had already had it where it was rented out to another very well-known person, and he wouldn't leave the room. Yeah. And they said, well, there's 2 ways. We can exit you out of this hotel, or you can buy the hotel. So he bought the hotel. Yep. That's kind of how the story went. He bought it for $13 million, and that was the start of his heavily investing in Clark County.
That whole area is, we're talking about cities outside. We did skip a whole lot from the 40s to the 60s, but
there's a lot that happened in the 40s.
There is a lot, but so like when he did buy that, he also bought like a TV station. He bought like a radio station, I believe, so he could watch what he wanted to watch on TV late at night because he was always up all night long. People loved, the money he was throwing into the town.
Mhm.
Then he went and bought all kinds of land right outside of Las Vegas because was it for his? I don't remember who it was for. It was for somebody. I can't remember, but he bought it for a reason. Like I want to say it was like for his mom maybe, but I don't know. I can't remember. But that's what's known as Summerlin now. That whole area was just, I mean, it was his land, and he wanted to build on it. And he had Hughes Enterprise. He had all this stuff that he was, still working on because he was still trying to make money, the way he did by, I think he was making movies and stuff then. And
that was his hope, was to move it out there and
Yep.
do it in Nevada instead of in California.
Yeah. So he put up so much money into that area that, I mean, after he unfortunately died and whatever happened there, which was also a weird story, but whatever happened with his death, that whole area in Summerlin sat for years. Like nobody knew what to do with it. Like his estate didn't know, who owned it and all that stuff. And now it's really prosperous. It's a huge, Summerlin's one of the nicest areas in all of Las Vegas because people, it's expensive for one, the housing and all that stuff. But back then, it was just desert again, and he had that vision. And then along with his vision, there was obviously the mob. The mob ran a lot of stuff during those times. And you were saying 66 and it was 67. Same year, that's when Jay Sarno started Caesar's Palace. That was like his big dream. But Bugsy Siegel, how everybody says he started the Flamingo and all that. He didn't, but he basically took it over from the guy who did start it. That's way back in the 40s. And then moving up, through Howard Hughes, with his vision. Then there was Kirk Kerkorian's vision. He owned a lot of land, and he sold to Jay Sarno. So Jay Sarno started building Caesar's Palace, which was the next big theme, in the next big jump in Vegas growth.
That was big money.
Kerkorian took all that money, and he opened up the International, which is where Elvis did all of his, stuff, and that's what started, the big, huge resorts, for like the next 20 to 30 years. And that's why the mob couldn't really get much more out of Vegas because now they weren't owned individually anymore. They were starting to be owned by these groups of people up until like the 70s, the late 70s, and then the early 80s. And then the 80s come and we're talking about Steve Wynn, so he was the next guy that really started the next growth of Vegas. So there's so many timelines. I mean, there's so many different areas you could sit and talk about, the history of Vegas. It's crazy how it, grows so fast. At one time it was the fastest growing city for like more than one time, for like 10 years straight. It was the fastest growing city from like 89 to 99.
Yeah.
They were building a school a month out there.
Yeah.
That's how fast it was growing. That's crazy.
And one of the funny things that most people don't realize is when they visit Las Vegas is that the Strip is actually in two different cities.
Yep. That was a problem with because it was unincorporated. Vegas is the old Vegas, like you're talking, up by the railroad tracks where it all started, downtown Fremont Street and all that. And then Paradise, they call it Paradise. That's just an unincorporated strip of land, and then all around it is how Vegas got, how Vegas grew and got built. But yeah, that strip of land is just called Paradise, and it's not really a city. It's more of a whatever you want to call it.
Less of a tax bracket, maybe.
Yep, very much so.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that in 88, 89 was kind of when you started to see some of the bigger mega resorts, or what you would call a mega resort, like Excalibur and the Rio were being built.
Yep.
And they were kind of considered the first themed, if you want to call it a themed casino.
You're right. Yeah, mega resort, basically. Like when Wynn started the Mirage.
Which was at about that same time, yeah.
Yep, it was. They all started popping up. Everybody wanted to get on that train, that money train, because it was amazing. I mean, how fast everything was growing and how much you could make. Steve Wynn's that Mirage, that first casino, that was paid off in 18 months. Paid off the entire loan, the entire. He got a little bit of influence from someone who got indicted on racketeering charges, but this guy Milken was his name. He was dealing in junk bonds. So basically, they say that the what do you call it, like the New York Stock Exchange or whatever, they paid for that first major themed casino, which was the Mirage with him. And then when that was paid off in 18 months, there was no stopping Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn went crazy, and he was just like a money maker. Like everything he touched was gold. He went from there downtown and took over the Golden Nugget for a while and really killed that. And then he came back and opened up all of his stuff. Treasure Island, I think he had a part in opening that. He had a part in opening up, obviously, Wynn and Encore and all that stuff. But yeah, he was just the golden goose that really, he really screwed his legacy
I
up.
think he made his biggest mistake when he sold out of Bellagio, because I think Bellagio,
that's right, Bellagio,
is considered one of the high roller casinos.
Yep.
On the Strip, which
that was
which
the nicest,
some of the largest
casino by far for years. The nicest casino, and it was all Steve Wynn's casino. And then MGM stepped in and bought it from him, and then that's MGM's that's like their, not their mother casino, but that's like their first. I mean, they had the MGM or whatever it was called, and then that's when I don't know if you call it a conglomeration or whatever you call it, but that's when they started buying up places and labeled them MGM Resort. And Caesars did the same thing with the other half.
But that was MGM International is actually the company that actually owns it now, because it's a lot of the investors are out of Dubai now that are there with that. That's when they started the City Center. The City Center, which took up the most land and added the most hotel rooms within less than a 22-month period. The unfortunate when they started that project, that was when we had the 2007, 2008,
Yep. And that was the only thing that's the only thing that really kept going, and that was a private investment. And now it's an MGM property.
Correct.
Well, Aria and most of those are. I think some, maybe not all of them, but I know Aria and Vdara and some of those are definitely MGM properties. But yeah, that was that project never halted. It was weird, like everything else halted, but that project had so much money put into it that they just couldn't stop doing that. Can you imagine if they would have stopped that? That would have made the Strip look so bad right now. It would have been just a big hole,
Well, you think they were started out at about $8 billion, and I think the total project in the end was almost 12 to 13 billion.
Yeah.
So they had to do some borrowing from some heavy hitters out of Dubai.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of tells you why it's MGM International instead of just MGM.
Okay. Yeah. But I think on that note, Steve Wynn's biggest mistake was probably the massage therapist that he harassed for the last time. And that tells you where he is now. But I'm sure he's happy with all of his money. I heard he's trying to make a little bit of a comeback. But
and that's a true statement. That is exactly what he's trying to do. And he's privately bought up some land, and I believe it's the property that sits across from Luxor.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's good. I like that area. I stayed in that area one time.
The project, do you know where the old go-kart track is near McCarran Airport and all that complex? I think he just bought that too. I think that's the private investor there as well.
You think so?
So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
That's funny. There used to be there still is, if you look on like some of these websites, but there was a hotel called the Motel 6, and it wasn't like, motel or no, it's motel, was it 6 or 8? Motel 8. It wasn't like the chain motel or Hotel 8, whatever the hell it's called. But I stayed there one time, and it was like the oldest hotel and it was literally on the Strip. I sat in their pool and I looked up at the Mandalay Bay, and I made a great video about it. But
nice.
As soon as that summer was over, that was that was like what, 4 years ago. That's when they closed down that side. And then we were talking about remodeling or doing some kind of refurbish to that whole side. But I like that old school Vegas stuff. There's some really old historic motels, not even a hotel. They're motels on that side towards the sign back there by the Las Vegas sign. So that's the kind of stuff I like to check out when I'm there, the history behind some of these really older places. I don't mean 80s and 90s. I mean like 50s, 60s, and 70s. Those old places. Those are my favorite. But
I think the
The
biggest
old
reason
El
why
Cortez. I love El Cortez. I mean, they've remodeled now, but before they did, and they were just kind of that old smoky casino vibe. You know, it was like you were waiting for some mob boss to come walking around the corner. You know, unfortunately, that's even changed now.
That's the original casino that Bugsy Siegel had his hand in before he bought out Billy Wilkerson, who was opening up the Flamingo. He had his hand in the El Cortez before like World War II because he ran like the illegal wires for the races, for all the horse races, all that the legal because there was a sports book there, so he ran that, and he was like delaying it just enough to have people back home or wherever he was in LA or wherever making money off it. Like he knew the results of the races, and then he's putting up his own odds, you know. But I love the El Cortez too. Even El Cortez and everything downtown. I love just anything historic in that area. I love. But what were you asking, Vander?
Oh no, I was just saying the biggest reason why I want to go to Vegas is because I watched that movie when I was young, Vegas Vacation. Chevy Chase, you know, where the guy, the kid was like, I put $1 in, I got a car. I put $1 in, I got a car. Which hotel was that?
Mirage.
Was that the Mirage? Yes, that's right. They were staying at the Mirage. There was a lot of that.
One of the cars in front of the old Casino Royale that's still there.
Yep, and the Riviera. I remember seeing scenes by the Riviera, and that was one of my favorite
he goes
areas.
into the Riviera as well, and that's where he went to the bar, and he had the ID he bought out on the strip.
Papa Giorgio.
Yeah,
Papa Giorgio. Mr. Papa Giorgio.
But the first ID he bought, he went to present it to the bartender, and it was a different color, and that's how he got picked up.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Yeah, and that whole area there, that area with the Riviera, and across the street, the McDonald's and all that—that's so historic and so like it means a lot to me. That little area, because I used to hang out there, right next to the Riviera, and right next to the McDonald's, I think. But I used to run that area of the strip wasn't ever. I mean, it was all popular, but like we're talking like the early '90s, late '80s, and early '90s, it wasn't as jam packed as it is now. People use the side roads and all that stuff instead of coming up the strip. You can be able to walk across the strip, no problem. Just you literally didn't even have to look sometimes. You just walk across. Nowadays, there's all kinds of fences and stuff up, but that area in front of the Riviera was one of those spots where you could just. There was a curb instead of a sidewalk. You could literally park your car if you wanted to. But
well, where the Riviera was, that's now where most of the convention center is expanding. That's how much property they purchased over there.
Yep, and Elon Musk is building his tunnel. He's boring that tunnel. I think that's almost done too.
That is almost done. You're right.
Crazy. Now he's going to be running like an underground train or something underneath.
Like in that people mover, he says. It'll be mostly for convention goers and stuff. That's a long ways when you think about like the old convention. Well, it's still there, but the convention area of like the Hilton has a big convention area, and that's about 4 or 5 blocks behind the strip, behind the Wynn, and behind what all that whole area was. And it's still there. Last time I was there, that whole back area was basically empty lots and parking lots and stuff, and now it's like convention halls and still probably a lot of parking lots, but he's got his little tunnel team digging there. So
and
then across the street is going to be that new mega resort, the Resorts World, that's being built up right now.
That's nearing completion, but with everything going on right now, that might be delayed a little bit. I'm guessing it'll probably be Christmas that they actually do their full launch, but they're already hiring their staff. I mean, we're talking 13,000 people right now.
A lot of people, and that's the other thing about Vegas. My brother lives there, and I don't keep track of it by no means. I mean, I don't follow their politics or their economy or economics or whatever, but I don't understand where a lot of people are saying it's hard to get a job or it's hard to survive in Vegas right now. It's not expensive. It's expensive if you want it to be. There's areas that are expensive, like we're saying. I'm not moving there and moving to Summerlin immediately. I wouldn't mind living there, but I mean, I wouldn't move. I would live in Las Vegas. I would live in a nicer area of Las Vegas, but I mean, there's hundreds upon hundreds of jobs. I mean, it's strange how, especially, I know this COVID is shutting a lot of things down, and there's a lot of people out of work, bartenders, waiters, stuff like that. But there's still a lot of other jobs there that are equal to, you know, you can make a good living. You know, you could make a decent wage out there. If
Right.
You really needed to.
Yeah, it's the same here. Like, there's jobs, but there's people that say there's no jobs, and
Yeah, I don't understand that.
the store where I'm working out, they can't hire enough people. Like, nobody wants to work there for some reason. And
Well,
I think
that's
like,
the same
easiest
down
job
there as
ever.
well. There's a lot of people don't want to work the essential jobs. They want to work the jobs that would have like a tip wage involved with them, and I don't blame them because you can
Not
make
at
some
all.
good money.
In
Right.
Vegas, yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
I made a lot working as waiter bartending. You know, I made a ton of tips. Like, there was one day where I made like $500-$600 in tips. Like, that's insane. Didn't get it consistently, but that was a peak. Like,
Always that one Friday night where you can make $500 bartending, and then there's the Sunday afternoon where you make $12.
oh,
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, see, it wasn't that bad for me. Like, I was pretty consistent over $100 in tips every day.
Yeah.
So
That was always my goal when I was a waiter or bartender. $100 a day a night, and that's
yeah, you're happy. I mean,
That's
shit,
very-
how much more you need?
Yep.
I don't
Back
know.
then. Now I need more.
I need more too. I'm greedy.
You know,
some calculations. If I store $100,000 in this account where I get that high yield interest, I would get $16,000. What was it? 16,000 a month. I think it was $16,000 a month. I believe it was. Let me look at it again. I'll recalculate, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, 100,000, and it's 250% actually. 250%. It's 250 grand, right? Divided by 12. That's 20 grand a month. So 21 grand a month.
wow, not
Yeah.
bad.
Right? And so I just wish I had 100 grand right now because I wouldn't be working my day job and just put that in the account and watch Bitcoin go up and laugh all the way to the bank.
Close the door, sweetie.
I thought that was my neighbor's dog.
That's
thank
my
you for
dog.
being here, everybody. RL, Seymour, Bladebow, Duffy, The World According to Abigail. That's your wife, right? I'm guessing.
The
Not
world
mine.
according to Jim and the world according to Abigail.
Not mine. Nope.
This is not your wife? Oh.
Nope. Not
Okay,
mine.
my next guess would be your daughter, but
No. Yeah, that would be Abigail.
yeah, World According to Abigail. That's what I just asked. Yeah.
Oh,
Daughter?
so yep. Look at her. She's grinning at me right now. Yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
is.
Okay, I was wondering. I knew it's related to you. I mean, how many the world recordings can be here? You know, in the same place. It'd be like having another Neon in here. I would think that they'd be related to Neon Vacation. Yeah.
I was gonna change my other my original or my personal YouTube channel to Me on Vacation, and then I'd have Neon and Neon.
Neon Vacation.
Like
Okay.
Neon, like because everybody says that when I tell them, they're like, "What's the name of your channel?" I'm like, Neon Vacation. And
Yeah.
I don't pronunciate very well.
Yeah.
So they're always like, "What? Me on Vacation? What a great name!" I'm like, "No, Neon." And then they're like, "Oh,
Well, it's the same
still a
with
good
me.
name, but
I'll say Commander Vlogs, and they'll be like, Commander Logs? Logs? What the? And then they go blogs. I'm like, well, I'm not writing articles.
yeah."
So funny. Let's see here. Duffy said something. Wait, Martin Beaver says they are intimidated by Commander's work ethic. Shit. Duffy says the steel mills in my area are making a lot of steel, lots of good paying jobs, but that is hard work. Hard work pays well sometimes. I worked in a lumber mill. That's definitely hard ass work. I think the plumbing and septic company I worked harder than any job though. There was days where I'd show up at a job and I had to dig like a fucking 6-foot hole by like 12 feet, and then I had to install like risers on a septic tank, and then I had to bury all that shit, and I'm there after dark shoveling. Like, come on, man, that sucks. So I did that. Whatever, it's all good. Sometimes
that's one of the big things going on right now in Vegas is construction. So they're hiring people right and left. People with trades, the anybody that's plumbing, electricians, roofers, you name it, framers.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Even with everything that's happening, people are moving there at such a rate that they can't keep up. The inventory is short for that $550,000 to $1 million house there, because those are the homes that are being built as you get further and further toward Prim. It's amazing how they're going up that hill, the California highway.
Right. Duffy said something about the mob being forced out in the 50s out of Phoenix City, and then they moved to build up in Las Vegas, start their businesses up there.
Well, a lot of the mob money for Vegas came from Texas, believe it or not. People think most of it was out of St. Louis, which is where some of it did come from. But a lot of people remember the movie Casino. That's a big mob, casino at the time, and that was the Tropicana. That's the other one as well. Because you got to think at that time, I think it was Frank Costello. Is that how you say his name? He was the manager, and he wouldn't leave his position. And he lost his gaming license, but he continued in a different department. He would keep changing his titles so he can continue to manage and run for the bosses.
Frank Rosenthal.
That was the other one, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Lou I think it's Ledbetter or Leddetter. Lou was the other one that was involved with that as well. But there's so many different bosses from different parts, running these casinos. And it's amazing what happened in the end. You talk about the ones most of them only know really Bugsy Siegel and that story, but a lot of these mob bosses and the guys that work for him ended up in the desert or killed in their homes back in their, New York. That was the way to get rid of them. I mean, and then when you say the junk bonds and corporate America kind of got involved with Vegas, that changed the game and pushed them out. And it's never been the same. The difference being now is, these big companies like MGM and Caesars Entertainment, they're selling their properties and leasing them back. And that's what MGM did with the Bellagio. That's what Caesars Palace did with the Rio, which I think at some point the Rio will end up being closed, and that could be where your next sporting complex will be for baseball.
A lot of people
have those talks about that being the next, MLB spot. So things keep changing. Like Caesars Entertainment was actually bought out by El Dorado Corp, and then El Dorado Corp last week changed their name to Caesars Incorporated, so that they didn't have to change the. I think there's a lot of inner workings going on between those two companies that the public doesn't know.
Yeah.
But for them to be able to keep the name,
it's a way to keep money.
It's a smart thing.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep the money fluid, moving around without,
and having a cash flow. Correct.
And Caesars, or not Caesars, didn't like parts of MGM would go bankrupt, and then that part's bankrupt. So now they'd open up, like you're saying, I don't know what they call it, whatever they call this new division of MGM.
Well, Caesars did that for years too, because before Caesars Palace, Harrah's Casino was Harrah's Corp.
Yeah,
Harrah's
and then now
owned most of the casinos on the Strip, from Bally's to where Cromwell sits now to Rio.
Yeah, that was Bill Harrah.
Yeah, and they had Harrah's in Tahoe and Rio.
Yep, that was the Harrah's family, and then Caesars bought Harrah's, or Harrah's bought Caesars, but kept the name Caesar.
Correct. Caesars. That's what they did, and then that's twice that's happened now.
That's the name recognition that keeps, that keeps them popular, or whatever you want to call it.
But it's amazing how many casinos they own in the United States and internationally.
Welcome, brother. Watch with Wayne in the house.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
But now you're having these other companies, these other corporations coming in there, and like I say, buying up the property that are not real casino owners. And when those leases run out, you wonder what they'll do with them. That's the whole thing. I mean, what's Bellagio going to do, or does MGM in the long term purchase it back?
Thanks, man. I appreciate that super chat. That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of that died in the late 70s and the early 80s. Like when we're saying Kirk Kerkorian put it, like that was his own money. That was Kirk Kerkorian's money that he would put into the International. And then when he got what he wanted out of it, he sold it to somebody else, or and then someone would. I don't know if he ever did actually. I think
now that's the Las Vegas Hilton, or it was the Las Vegas Hilton.
It was the Hilton for a long time. Now it's like Westgate. See, now it's just owned separately by some hotel company, called Westgate. But I think when Jay Sarno also, when he opened up Caesars. Funny thing about that is Jay Sarno opened up Caesars and wouldn't sell basically. But when he opened up, he also opened up Circus next door. Did you know that? He wanted another place. So he oh, you know what's funny too? I've got this. I'm sending this. I was gonna send it out today, but I couldn't. This is your gift that I'm sending to you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I need to be re-upped, as you can see.
It's going to be mini bottles, but
it'll definitely help.
Yeah, but so then when he opened up Circus, and years later, now MGM owns Circus, but it's one of those, like you're saying, they own it, but they lease it back to them, and Circus has their own thing going. Like they're not part of the M Life or the MGM International. They're part of it, but they're not part of it. You know what I mean?
Hey, there's a lot of talks about them being probably the next casino to be demolished. So, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point.
I wouldn't either. It's not that desirable of a casino, but I'll go there.
No, it has a classic vibe still in there, but it's you can see it's run down in some parts, and that's the unfortunate thing. And that's one of the areas that needs some cleanup now.
It really is. Yep, it really is. Oh, my camera keeps getting so tilty. Anyway,
I think when the new casino opens up down there, that'll help the Sahara. You'll see such an increase on that end of the strip that more companies will want to be down near like the Pepper Mill and things like that. It'll be interesting to see what those small businesses across the street do if they tear all that out, or because that could be the next mega expansion.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Atari coming in with their own casino, dealing with their own cryptocurrency in the casino?
Yeah, that's been a rumor for a long time. And then the other day when I heard, I think it was you were talking about that, I looked it back up again, and there wasn't going to be an Atari casino in Vegas, was there? That was just going to be, there was going to be one there?
Yeah, and they're putting hotels and casinos all over the world. I think they even have one in Kenya or some shit.
I thought there was going to be one in Arizona.
Yeah, no, they're going to put one in Vegas. I can show you the picture of it. Let's see here, Atari.
Yeah, I did. I looked it up.
Oh, you already seen it? Yeah, I'll show for the viewers then. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. I'll share the screen. Screen share. Share. This one. There we go. Boom. There you go. Look at this. That looks crazy. That looks cool.
It kind of looks
futuristic,
like a council.
Oh, look at that though! It's really not that big.
That looks cool. Yeah. It'll be cool to check out, especially if it's like themed, Atari themed, like inside.
Yeah, they're talking about like gaming memorabilia and stuff inside. Yeah, kind of like how Planet Hollywood does.
Hard Rock Cafe, Hard Rock, and all those.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that Hard Rock bought the rights back to be able to use the name for a casino again in Las Vegas. Is that a true statement?
I didn't hear, but I hope so. That'd be nice. That was kind of a sad thing.
Yeah, but I still think that location that Virgin now has, that's kind of an iffy spot over there.
Yeah.
Because you have some of those weeklies that you can stay at right around there. Where I guess the other night there was 2 murders at the Harbor, which is right next to the casino.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when people talk about crime, it's usually they call them the felony flats there. That harbor, right? That harbor apartments right there, and the Americana's across the way there as well. I mean, and then
The
here
harbor,
you have this nice casino. You know,
Harbor Inn or Harbors?
it's Harbors, right? It's right there along the
Two
canal
Harbors.
behind Virgin.
I know exactly where that is. My brother lived there for a little while. I didn't think it was that bad of an area. I remember driving by it and asking the Uber driver if he thought it was bad. He's like, I picked up there a few times and it's not too bad. So, but yeah, I know the places that are a little bit in between there and MGM are are kind of shady. Like those weekly
Some of the old
places.
Siegel Suites, the old,
Seagulls are budget suites and Siegel Suites.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Boulder Highway. You know,
Yep.
at one point that was quite the neat place. You know,
That's where I live.
Car dealerships and old classic casinos and
Sam's Town and Boulder. That's why I live right behind Sam's Town. I like.
I
that
still
area.
enjoy going into Sam's Town. I like the inner atrium area that they have, and
Yeah.
they have
pedestrians getting hit in Las
that
Vegas.
that I was at Boulder Station when a guy was hit out there and killed. We just happened to be out front, and you hear the sound. The next thing you see is this Tahoe in the middle of the road, and the guy was across probably 200 feet away from his shoes. It was
Alcohol and driving is not a great combination. You know?
No, and that was it. He had been at the casino drinking, tried to get across to the bus stop, and ran right in the front of an SUV.
I know for a fact that probably 50-60% of the drinkers out there probably also drive and try to get away with it. So, yeah, people in Vegas, like, they're all fucking drinking. So there's going to be a lot of dangerous vehicles out there.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, not a Sunday morning at 4:00. You don't want to be on the road when the nightclubs are closing.
Right.
That's a for sure.
Oh, yeah, because, like, they're going to be so shit-faced by then.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That's a lot of the reason that people, when they book their trips, stay in one spot. You know, a lot of times because they won't rent cars when they go to Vegas. Or some people will, but I mean, if you don't come from California or Phoenix or Utah or something that you probably don't have a car. If you fly in and you want a car, it's because you're going to go to the outlying areas to do stuff. But a lot of my friends and myself included, I won't rent I have, but I won't rent a car. Usually if I'm only there for a few days, and I stay, I'll stay in the same area. Recently I started expanding that because of obviously Uber and Lyft and all that. It's easy to get around now and it's super cheap. The
Absolutely.
bus schedules, I mean, I'll take the bus, I'll take all kinds of ways to get around.
That's the way to go in Vegas, I think. Like, if you're going to be partying and drinking, just Uber around.
Yeah, it's
that
so
is the
cheap
best
there.
way. Yeah.
And nobody does taxis anymore.
No,
Those taxi guys are pissed.
Yeah. They're almost like forbidden now. It's like people are like, oh, there's cabs here. They go outside. They don't look for the guy hailing cabs. They look for the Uber sign. Or
that guy's going to be running up that meter, charging me a fortune.
Yeah, that used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I got out of
jump in your cab and have a $3.75 surcharge before you even get moving.
Yep.
Good.
I've gotten out of a couple cab rides that were pretty long, like a couple of them from the airport to downtown. And when you get there, he's like $57. It's like, what? Like, hold on, I'm going to go ask this, because you can ask, like, not legally, but a good way to do it is ask the doorman, just say, hey, can you call Transit Authority or can you call this company here and see how much my cab ride should have been? They'll drop it. They'll be like, just forget it, because they know they'll lose their job and they'll lose their medallion for driving. So they didn't. This is a couple years ago before Uber and everything really took over, but they'll just say, forget it, no charge. Like, okay. I mean, if you're gonna rip me off,
no charge? They just give you a free that?
well, if you threaten to turn them into the Transit Authority or whatever you call it,
Yeah, they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose when he's calling your medallion. No.
They think they're picking up people that are dumb, and they say, well, even if I'll take the fastest route, but it's going to be the longest way, or I'll take the shortest route, but it's going to be more expensive, whatever. I used to hate that so much. I hated that. So
well, most of your cabbies from McCarran, they want to jump out on the 215, go out to the main highway. They don't want to take your back roads because they know they're not going to get the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yep. They're not going to go, I'm going to go down and go up Maryland and then go down Tropicana or Flamingo.
Yep. So the first thing you tell them is, hey, I know the area pretty well, or whatever. Even if you don't know the area you're going to, just say, I know this should only be about $7. So then you'll get there. It'll be about 705. You know, that'll be your price.
Or you go down to the bottom level of McCarran and you go to one of the limousine services, and believe it or not, some of those are damn cheap for what you expect to pay. I mean,
Yep.
you could jump in one of those stretches and get to like New York, and pay $50.
Get a couple buddies together. Get 3 or 4 buddies together. Each tip in $10, and you got a limo ride.
Yep.
That used to be a really, well kept secret too, but people start to pick up on it now, especially during these times when limo drivers are standing there by their limos like, hey buddy, $50, I'll get you wherever you want to go or whatever.
Yeah.
It still seems a little expensive, but it's a comfortable ride. The guy's probably going to stop, pick up some, go to the liquor store for you, whatever you want to do.
I want to roll around in the Stretch Navigator. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, those are fun.
And they're nice.
We've been in those.
That'd be fun. When I come, that's what we're going to roll in.
For sure.
Presidential limousine services there is probably one of the best and the fairest when it comes to pricing.
Yeah, they
so
are.
If you want to get in one of your Lincoln Navigator stretches, that's the one to go to.
Yeah, we've used them quite a bit.
Well, I've kind of want to rent a Lambo too. Can you rent a Lambo over there for a pretty good price?
You can rent one by the hour if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or half a day.
I think in Hawaii it was like $800-900 for the day.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's $400. I think it's $400 something for 3 hours, or like $900 to $1,200 for a day.
For 3 hours, man, that'd be so much fun. It'd be worth it.
I think the big catch with those I think you have to, give them a big insurance down payment or something. I think that's how they do that. But
you have to have a credit card that has a lot of room on it.
You probably can't have a shitty driving record. They're probably like, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah, probably no DUIs or hit and runs. But it'd be fun about that if you were like an Uber driver, just for a couple rides, just pull up in a Lambo or something.
Hell yeah!
Go rent a Lambo.
To do Uber? Yeah, that'd be fun. I want to do that. I've seen those videos. It's so fun, and they're like, "This is my ride."
You would enjoy going out to the Las Vegas Speedway and do the experience in the exotic cars.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and if you're staying in that Vegas, they limo you out there as long as it's expensive, but they limo you out there. You get to try all these different exotic cars, take them around the track, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I to anybody. There's also another one heading out toward Prim. There's 2 different companies that do it, and one is mostly Ferraris and Lambos, and the other one is like any other exotic cars you can think of besides that. And that's even the high Audis. Or you can even do a NASCAR experience when they're in town. They have that where you can do that with the drivers in the lower leagues. I forget what they call it now, below sprints.
Yeah, it used to be like Bush League or whatever.
Right, they used to call it the Bush League, and they keep changing the name, because it's whoever's sponsoring it at the time.
Yeah, and then there's a few driving schools out there that used to be the Petty. What's his name?
The Petty Experience.
Yeah. There was a death out there actually a couple years ago on the track, and I don't know if they still do it or not. But there's a couple of those experiences out there, a couple of those driving classes or whatever you want to call them, where you can get behind the wheel of a race car.
Yeah, and they do it on a more of a road course, which is just outside of the oval.
Yep.
And then the other one, like I say, is heading toward Prim. And they have an oval, and I think they also have like a road course that you can drive, depending on which vehicle and all these things.
Have you been to Prim? Do you like Prim?
I've been to Prim, yeah. With that one video you did the last time you were out there, I actually enjoy it out there.
I like Prim a lot. I wish they closed Buffalo Bills, and they don't know if that's going to reopen. But,
yeah, I went through there on June 6th or 7th right after the initial reopening.
Okay.
And it was such a ghost town.
Yeah.
There was nobody there.
It was still pretty cool when I was there, but I like it just because it's old. It feels like old, like old Vegas type of feeling,
Oh, sure.
Which I really like. So
but they haven't had the water. They didn't have the waterlog ride there anymore. No. It's still there, but it's just. And then they went roller coaster. So
yeah. Yep, that's right outside Buffalo Bills, and that was all gated off, and you couldn't even get into it. So that's too bad.
Yeah.
But
with like strippers and hookers and all that, is that like the hooker thing legal there?
No.
I was curious.
No.
I thought I was told that.
You got to go out of Clark County. You got to go out of the county. You got to go to Nye
I
County.
think when I was younger, I thought about it, but now, like, I have Ellen, so I'm not interested in such things. But
it's not far. We can make a couple. It take about an hour to get there.
oh, really? And it's legal.
In
And
Pahrump,
that place.
it's legal all out, like he's saying, all outside of Clark County, which is, I mean, Pahrump is only, I don't even know how far Pahrump is.
I think maybe an hour. Now you're talking past the drone air base going out, right, going north.
Is that a drone base by Nellis?
No, that's Nellis. That's the other way. I'm talking like if you're going to drive to Oregon or go up to Reno, you go by the drone base, and then that's going out toward Pahrump, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I did hear they had a drone base. I didn't know that.
It's amazing watching them fly. They test those things daily, and to drive by there.
Yeah,
I think that's spring something.
They're not drones either. Those are the nice sized, just unmanned aircrafts.
Yep.
Yeah, those are nice.
So honestly, I think like the whole hooker thing should be legal everywhere. Honestly, in my opinion, if it's consent.
Las Vegas's mayor thought that too. He suggested that many times.
It should be regulated, very regulated. They got to be tested all the time, because you can't have people screwing around and having STDs spreading around and shit.
Supposedly
you're talking Oscar Goodman. Now it's his wife now who's the mayor.
Yeah, I know.
Oscar Goodman was the original attorney for most of the mob guys who got in trouble in Vegas.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, funny how he went from being a mob attorney to being mayor, and now his wife is mayor.
Yeah.
Really?
Full term, 12 years as mayor?
Yep.
And now she's probably going to do her 12 years. Vegas is still very small. And very, whatever you want to call it. Tight-knit.
Why do you think they name it Sin City? Is it the gambling or the hooker thing?
I think it's probably a combination.
Combination of
well,
all.
We're talking sin. We're talking alcohol. We're talking prostitution. We're talking gambling.
Drugs.
All the sins. Overindulging, in all of them. That's mostly the appeal to most people. Everybody asks me like why I like to go out there so much, and I just lie to them. It's like, I just all that fun drugs and rock and roll, but really I go out there because of the history and the getaway. You're whoever you want to be when you go out.
Politicians are prostitutes. That's funny.
Martin Bieber.
I mean, it's not far from the truth, right?
Not really.
Mm-mm.
They'll do anything for money and power.
Yeah. How often are you going out now, Jim?
Well, once they get my daughter back in school, instead of being at home and having to do her schoolwork with her, that will change the game again. I usually would get out there about 6 to 7 times a year, and then so far this last year, I think I got out there 5 times, and that was it. Our plan is, I told you at the beginning of February, as long as everything stays the course of what's going on with her schooling, they're talking about being back in full school daily starting February 8th. And so that's, I'm glad that'll happen. And we have my older kids that are here that can basically step in and help while we're gone or while I'm gone.
That's good.
You ever burp and it burns your nose? It just happened. I hate that. Made my eyes water a little bit. Jesus.
For years, and I don't know if you knew it, Del, for years I played poker and played in the World Series of Poker main event one time, and a lot of the smaller events, or some of them were actually larger events. In 2009, I played in the Stimulus of all names. It was $1,000 buy-in, and we had 6,100 people enter that tournament, and I got 47th, which that's my best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did Biden sponsor that one? The stimulus.
we laugh because that's that. Look at now, we call everything stimulus.
Yep.
And it just happened to be that tournament was a 1K buy-in called a stimulus tournament.
Yeah, I guess dildos are stimulating too for women.
Agreed.
You can tell I've had a little bit to drink now.
It's
I'm
okay.
getting in a
We're
good
talking
mood.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, man. I'm not going to do anything tonight. If I do, I'm going to do some gaming. Don't really need to be sober for that. So
No bro show. No,
I
nothing.
honestly
else
don't need to be sober for anything. I can just do everything best if I want to. Why not? What, YouTube's going to stop me? I don't think so.
Well, we need to get you to Las Vegas. I think you need that experience, and that would be great for your channel. You can do some stuff while you're there.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. I want to put $1 in and get a car. Put $1 in and get a car.
There's always that chance. That's what people.
I need you guys to help me drive my Lambos and Ferraris home.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, I was sitting at a pie gow table when a guy won 380,000. So I can tell you, I've seen some incredible wins from people.
How much did he put in on that though to win that?
Well, it's a side bet. There's a progressive bet for $5 on that game that we played. The Pie Gow's a 7-card poker game, and you play high-low hands. And he played the progressive or the button, and that was the progressive was at over 300,000, and he got the 7-card straight flush.
On a $5 bet?
Yeah, well, he's playing main bet like I do, where you're playing anywhere from $50 to $500, and then your side bets are where your progressives are paid. And it was amazing because he flopped these 7 cards straight flush is like real rare to even see.
That's like retirement money there, man.
Well,
You see,
not only did this guy, he didn't. I know there's other people that have hit it this year. Where one was at 1.3 million on Pie Gow.
That's definitely retirement money.
Twice hit with Caesar Properties. One was at Caesars, and the other one was at Paris within about a 2-month span. And usually they go 8 or 10 months before another one hits.
Yeah.
The mega bucks just hit
Yeah, and one of the smaller casinos, right? I mean,
$15.4 million.
it was the largest win in like years.
That's basically a slot machine.
Man, I really want to go to Vegas right now.
You had 2 people. You had one gal heading home at the airport hit for I think 180,000, and another person hit for 900,000.
I know.
I mean, that's crazy.
The airport.
Yeah.
At the airport?
Yeah.
You would think that would be the place that rips you off.
Oh, it does.
They do. That's why it's crazy, because their like payback are like in the 70s or 80s or something.
Well,
Yeah,
they probably got to dish out a good win once in a while to be.
I've won
like,
at the airport before on like just a cheesy Wheel of Fortune game. I probably won like $50 to $100, something like that. But you know who owns those machines at the airport? That's Boyd Company.
Oh.
It's one of the Boyd companies in town, and a lot of the Boyd properties downtown. They have the Cal and Main Street Station, and they used to have Fremont, but they don't have it no more, I don't think. Or maybe
No,
they still do.
and Fremont, by the way, their remodel job inside, they've done a great job.
Fremont, the casino?
Yeah.
I might stay there this next trip. I want to stay.
It looks amazing. They have done a great job inside.
Fremont's a great hotel. There's a good history behind Fremont too. The way they were brought up in they opened in the 60s, I believe. Maybe I'm thinking of Four Queens. I love staying at the Four Queens, but I love Fremont for like the Tony Romas they have there and the great steak specials and stuff. And then the gambling is really good there. The video poker is amazing.
Well,
but
yeah, they still have some coin in game too there, which is nice.
Yeah, and I've never stayed there, so I think I might stay there this time. There's only a few casinos I haven't stayed in.
How about Californian? Have you ever stayed there?
I think I did once, long time ago.
Because they remodeled inside their casino floor too. It looks really nice.
That looks really nice. Yeah, California looks good. It's really clean in there now. It used to be a little darker and dingier, but they took a while to reopen. They're open now, right?
Yeah, they are open.
And I think Main Street Station is still closed.
Still closed. Them and Palms. So them and Palms Casino. It seem to be the ones right now.
And it's funny because Palms, the Cal, and Main Street Station, They have some of the best video. I like video poker, and they have some of the best video poker in all of Vegas. Some of the best machines. Sam's Town, all the Boyd casinos have really good video poker.
Yeah, and they do also have good video Keno, which
Yes.
I can tell you they got some good payouts on those too, which is
They do.
surprising since a lot of people don't. Go ahead.
So video poker. How come you don't play like the real poker? Do you think the odds are better with the video one, or?
It's faster. I know that. Like
It's
I could,
faster. Yeah, that's
if I
true. You're
sit and
waiting
play
on
regular
it.
poker. I mean, I can. I like poker a lot,
Yeah.
but to sit there and play poker to me is
I like
just
the
like
poker. I'm just kidding.
it takes
You-
so
but-
long just to build. You could sit and play poker for 3 hours and only play 2 hands.
Yep.
You're not playing
Yeah,
every
because you
hand.
got people like, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, whatever.
I like to play. I'd rather play poker with people that know how to play poker than people that don't.
Yep.
A lot of people are like, no, you want to play with the stupid people. It's like, no, you don't. You want to play
No.
with people that know how to play poker, because if you're playing with someone stupid and you're raising it and you're,
Yep.
I don't know the terminology. I'm not that big into
We
it. But
call
if
them
you're
a
like
donk.
really, if you're into a pot and you're raising it and you're, not just, and this guy next to you doesn't know what he's doing, and he needs to understand that you actually have probably something decent. You know what I mean? And not to just say, oh, okay, like when you're in I'm saying early position or whatever you want to call it, and it's not, the whole river isn't run out, if we're playing Texas Hold'em or whatever, and they shouldn't, okay, say it's the first go around or orbit or whatever they call it, and you put in a raise, and this guy next to you is like, oh, let's see, I've got some pretty decent cards. My raise or my bet, like everybody's around the table, should mean something to their hand,
Right.
unless they're, so if he's like puts his in and then he waits for the turn card and then the flop is whatever, and that helps him. So then I'm like still trying to get him off his hand, and I go even higher because I got like say kings, and all he's got is like fives or something. By the
Yeah.
time it finishes out and the river's, shown, he could pick up another 5, and beat my hand because he just doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Right. He
And I know
gets
that
1 or
probably
2
doesn't
hour,
sound,
we call it.
yeah, it
I
doesn't
just thought
sound
about something.
suck out.
We could,
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't-
suck out. Yeah.
we could do a weekly poker tournament. Wouldn't that be fun on a
That
live
would be
stream?
fun. They do that on some sites. My friends do that on sites, and then they just kind of figure out the pay-ins and buyouts and all that separately. Like,
Is there some kind of software where we can go in as friends and play poker against each other?
we would just play on a platform like
Yahoo or
Party
something?
Poker, Yahoo Poker, as long as it was
Right.
fair
And you
run
basically
well.
you man a table before it gets full. Just
Yeah.
everybody jumps the table.
Yeah, we just need our people only, nobody else.
Yeah,
Correct.
a private game. You can do private.
And I
games.
was thinking we could do like for money, like everybody buy in with like $10 or $20 or whatever the price would be.
Yeah, my friends do that a lot.
That'd be fun. I think we should do that, like on a weekly basis. That'd be kind of fun. I bet we
gets-
get a lot of viewers, because we're all YouTubers.
Who
Playing
gets the right to stream it?
Oh shit.
Hmm.
God, well, I kind of want to stream that. Well, I don't know. I was thinking weekly on my channel, but I mean, we could have a thing where the winner gets the choice of streaming.
There you go. That's good.
I
And
guess.
then if the winner doesn't want to stream it, they can give it back to whoever.
It'd be a good way to grab some. I would pull in some followers. I know, or some subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, if you get 8 YouTubers around a poker table playing on the live stream, and then every stream is on somebody else's channel, could be good. Yeah, it's just that everybody needs to be knowledgeable how to put that on a live stream.
Mhm.
I mean, I think you're getting your stuff figured out, so
Yeah, that'd be fun. I definitely would be in on that.
that'd be fun. Yeah, I do want to do that. That'd be so cool. It'd be something to look forward to every week. We could do it once a week.
Absolutely.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Friday nights or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
You have to have a platform that'll allow you to stream it. That's the other thing.
So you're saying if I stream party poker that they might not like that?
Yeah, they may not. So
What if
you'd
we
have
were
to
playing
find
on
out.
a free game? It's a free game, but we're on our own, putting the money on our own separate platform, and we stream the free game. Would they have a problem with that?
It's hard to say. You'd have to look at their bylaws that they have when you go into their site. I know there's some out there where you can do that.
I do know a couple people that do it, and they're basically sponsored by that online casino. So I'll ask them. I'll ask a few people. I'll just send out a few emails. Not like I know them personally, like I talked to them.
Come up with a plan. I think this would be so fun.
That would be.
We could start, with this small money. Everybody throw down 10, and the winner, if we had 8 people, gets like $80, or maybe we'll do whatever. I don't know. Could be $5 buy-in. We could keep it small, but.
Well, what you do is you do what's called a 10-5. So 10 goes to the main pot, 5 goes to the winner. So an extra 5 from each person goes in the middle pot for the winner. And besides, how the chips end up at the end, or however you're going to do it. If you're going to do it tournament style, or if you're just going to do it cash game style,
one game. I think one game, not like a bunch of games. Or what do you think? Do you think the tournament style would be better?
I think doing a tournament style with basically a game clock, as they call it, starting with the small antes and working them up until you have one person left. And you can say if you've got 9 people, you can pay your top 3, or if you have 8, go your top 2. And then we could have bust outs too.
We could do different games too. It doesn't always have to be poker. We could play chess. That'd be kind of fun.
My friend played Uno the other night.
Games we could play.
Money chess, like bet on chess.
A couple of YouTubers I know played a round of Uno the other night.
Uno, yeah, that'd be fun. I like that.
It looked pretty fun.
Like dominoes. We could play dominoes.
Oh, you can play train dominoes. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. We need to find a platform that we can stream, that we're going to be okay to stream.
What's the one that starts with a Z? There's one that starts with a Z. Zaga? I can't remember.
Zenga?
Is that it?
I don't know.
I think they still have. They used to be part
of YouTube, or you mean games?
Zanga, yes, I know what you're talking about.
That's it.
It is Zanga. Zanga, yes. Zynga. Zanga Poker, official game. Play poker online for free. I think
you can set up a private room with them.
Yeah, we'll do a private room, and they should have no problem with that. Why would they have a problem with that?
The only thing is streaming. You would have to ask if you can stream it.
Well, I don't think I would even have to ask. Why would they have a problem with it? I don't know. You think I got to ask? I guess I could. I could set. You know what? I'll send a support ticket to them. What are you thinking? What?
If it has to do with gambling, they might have a problem with it. But I mean, most places stream games, and there's not any major problem. So I play video poker.
You have live people doing it from casinos now. So I mean,
my thing is the only way to play poker is with money, like real money. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Well, you get the chips. I mean, you basically you say the 10 or the $20 gets you 10,000 chips.
Correct.
Or whatever.
That's exactly it.
And then then when you're all done, it's down to the winner. Winner.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're set up on that platform, it doesn't matter to them because we're playing with fake chips to them. The money changes hands between us.
It's separate.
It has nothing to do with them.
It's just a friendly thing amongst friends, and we have viewers watching it.
Yep.
That's
it's setting up on and
it could be popular. I think people would love to watch us play.
Sure.
I
think other people would want to play too.
That are in on this, and there'll be other people to be interested, want to sign up.
You have to try to get some big money in there, like watching with Wayne.
Big money.
Big money, Wayne.
Well, we could do like a Monday night $10 buy-in, a Wednesday night $50 buy-in, and a Friday night $100 buy-in. I mean, we could have a good game.
Yeah, or we could do like every game, every buy-in is usually like $10, but then like a certain time of the year where we do a big one.
Right.
End of the month. There's $100 buy-in or something crazy.
Celebrity YouTube poker event. for charity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get Logan Paul and Jake Paul and these motherfuckers out here.
I don't want to get punched by either
Keemstar.
one of them.
You don't want to get punched by them?
I'm kidding.
I mean, I'll get in the ring with them for $5 million. Why not? Shit. You hear about that? I guess that deal is sealed. Mayweather and Logan, and Jake's trying to fight Connor, which Connor's
I don't understand that at all.
No.
They're taking big money for doing this, though.
Yeah. Well, he just fought that ex-basketball player that.
And just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he looks like a pretty decent fighter, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Connor would beat the shit out of Jake. There's no way.
Either one of them. Either one of them.
Floyd
And Mayweather and Logan, like, come on, Logan, man, you're tough, you're big, you're bad, but damn, Mayweather.
Mayweather is probably the best fighter of all time.
I honestly don't think Logan's gonna even be able to land much punches
You
on
wouldn't.
Mayweather.
How would you? How would
He's
you
too
even land a
fast.
punch?
He's
You know,
too fast. He'll
Merriweather
bob
lives
and
in
weave
Vegas.
until he's tired, and then he'll finish him or win by points.
No.
Either way.
Merriweather is from Vegas. He lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
But Mayweather has a bunch of property in Vegas as well. He's got a club that's shut down right now, which is near Counts Customs.
His boxing club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I've been by there. TM. He calls it the TMT. The money
TMT.
team.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in. That's by. I've been there. I've been in that area. Have you ever been through Chinatown?
Oh yeah, I've
It's
eaten.
not very big, but it's pretty fun. It's a fun
Yeah.
area. Good food and good bars.
Oh yeah.
Martin Beaver says, Commander, could the Watchers play? I mean, I don't see why not. It doesn't have to be necessarily YouTubers.
Well, I think guest invites would be good, just depending on who they are, so we know, who we're bringing in.
Like, the YouTubers would probably get possibly priority because we would get benefits by having everybody on there. Everybody's going to get more views. Their audience is going to come watch. My audience is going to come watch. But if we have just viewers, then yeah, it's not going to benefit as well. But we'll use viewers that don't have channels to fill in gaps. Probably is how that would work.
Yeah, we'd want just like a sign-up system or something.
So yeah, like if we don't have enough YouTubers that are on board, then we'll bring in some of the viewers. I think that would be good. And that's probably going to happen quite often.
Right. And if you're playing a tournament style with a clock, you know how much time you're going to be on the table. I mean, unless you have a heads up that just, goes forever after that. But once you get down to your final two, I mean, you can change the two can either split the pot, change the rules, whatever they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
The final two can change. They can say we're going to split the pot or go, 80, whatever, or 40, 60. I mean, however you want to do it, depending on your chip counts at the time.
Right. Yeah, and we can do a thing where like there's just a certain amount of streamers, like a certain people that will stream this, that know how to stream it, or have solid internet. That's important, right? So it's gonna have to be like somebody that knows what they're doing, and then how we decide who's going to stream what night, I don't know. We could just rotate, honestly, and keep it fair.
You want to have one person that's going to be considered the host, no matter who's streaming it, though, so that they're kind of the rules.
You want me to be Bob Saget?
Make a
Depends
shout
which
out.
Bob Saget. I've seen his stand up. My
Funny
goodness.
as hell.
Oh,
You think he's some kind of family friendly guy?
Yeah,
no.
He's not. Yeah, he's not ABC family at all.
No.
I'm gonna get another beer, and
I can't believe the shows that he was on. As what was that called? The show that he was on, Fuller House.
America's
Full
Funniest
House.
Video.
But then he was on Full House. Remember?
Yep.
And he was just
Yeah,
like
you're
that
going
funny,
way back.
that funny dad and all that.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this guy, he swears more than Don Rickles. I mean,
Oh, I mean, when you when he was on Howard Stern, it's probably been about 8 or 9 months ago during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that Howard Stern sold his show now too.
I think he was coming to the end of his contract and wasn't sure what he was going to do.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I think that he had that 5-year plan back then, and here we are coming to the end of it.
He killed
and
it.
He's in his 60s, and so it'd be interesting to see if he still comes in as a guest host, and then he has just other people that host it every day,
Yeah.
and keep Robin in her capsule there on the show.
Yeah.
Because
that's
made a lot of money for Sirius XM. I mean, it's made him a lot of money.
He killed it when he signed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what his contract is doing or what his negotiations are right now. I haven't listened probably in a couple of weeks, but I would assume that he's going to figure something out. So he's still making a lot of money from it. Because if he sells his past episodes, like his library, that could be worth quite a bit of money.
So
we're talking about Howard Stern. He's considering retiring finally from doing his celestial radio. But he owns his library. Plus, I think that he's negotiated a buyout that could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So it'll be interesting to see what he actually does. I'm sure there's some Sterners out there that know exactly what he's doing.
If I was him, I'd just move to Vegas and retire.
That guy lived a really good life, didn't he? Like he had like naked women on his show like almost every day or something like that.
It'd be an okay life.
Well, he went many years where he wasn't financially well to do.
Oh no! When he first started with
until he got into late 40s, that he finally started to become Howard Stern. I mean, even though his persona was always there and getting himself fired when he was younger, it took him a long time to even be able to watch himself when he would just start to do it on stream it.
Yeah. Have you seen that show, Private Parts? I think it's called
His movie, yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I don't remember it, but I'm sure it was good.
It pretty much tells his story up to the time he got to doing the satellite radio. You don't go into that. But you see him when he gets his big first contract with New York station, basically an A station in the market. Because for years he was in these podunk towns where he wasn't getting paid anything. I mean, he was doing overnight radio between like midnight and 5 a.m.
So my stock that I bought, this penny stock, it's called GSAT, is the Global Star is the name, and they partnered up with T-Mobile, and they're working on 5G technology, going through some like major breakthroughs right now. And God, I bought in at like 30 cents, and it's like over $1 now.
Start watching your casino stocks again, because as we get through this vaccine and things start to open up, you're going to see those stocks start moving again quite quickly.
I remember in 2008, when everything was just tanking. I remember NPM was at like $4. Caesars was at like $3.
Yep.
I don't remember winning all that, but I remember Boyd was at like, I think it might have been under $1. And oh my God, I just wish I had some kind of brains back then, because that's all I wanted to do was mess around with Vegas stocks, and I just never got into it. But
who was it that said they bought marijuana stocks and they just like tanked? I'm trying to think of who that was. Somebody lost a lot of money on marijuana stocks recently.
El Chapo?
Huh? I don't know.
Just kidding.
He got smoked. Didn't go up very high. Oh, shit. But no, man, I'm sure that will definitely go back up. I think really needs to get legalized federally for those stocks to really fucking take off.
That'll happen. As more states, legalize it within a state, they're going to be forced-handed to where they're going to have to do something.
Yeah, and they should, because like you need taxpayer money, well then tax that, and you can make a lot of
Well,
money.
they're getting in Oregon, they're getting taxed hard by the state. So I'm going to tell you, it's like in the 30%. If anybody's watching from Oregon, they know that's in that business. So that tells you how much profit they have to be making.
Yeah, I'm not saying
they're-
legalize cocaine and heroin and all that bullshit, but like, yeah, marijuana's really not that bad. I mean, the only thing about it though is like for me, and everybody's different. It ruins my ambition, and I'm not going to be my normal multitasking self. So
So you fall in the fog.
yeah, and I'll probably just eat a lot and get fat. Probably not really amount to nothing if that's all I do. I was already went through that phase, and like I literally didn't do nothing, bro. I just laid in a fucking lounge chair and got stoned. It was fun, but like, I don't know. It's not who I am. I feel like I have more potential than that.
Everybody's got to do what they got to do. You know what I mean? Whatever helps for some people, and then other people, it's not a good idea.
For people that are going through like pain and shit, and they're trying to relax or they're trying to sleep, it makes sense. And
especially for chronic pain, yes.
And I slept well. I slept well with that, but I just during the day, like when you first fucking wake up and just start smoking it up, like I don't know, man. Like
that's more for fun, recreational. But that's what I like about the stores and the what do you call them? The dispensaries in Las Vegas. There's one right off the strip by the Stratosphere. There's a few behind the strip, within a mile or 2, 3 miles from any major casino. They're a little more expensive, but then if you get farther out in the city and there's these little ones that are just like little pharmacies, they treat it like it's a little hospital. And you go in there and they tell you, I mean, it's the weirdest thing ever because I've never been around like legalized marijuana until they did it there. Mm-hmm. And the first time I was in there, they said, okay, ID and all this, and you give it to them. And then that's just to get so that you're signed up. You can't just walk in and buy a bunch of weed. So you just have to have an ID or whatever. So you're a seller or you're a buyer. But anyway, then they'll take you. They'll walk you through it unless you already know what you're looking for. You're like, I want this, this, this. They'll give you like a little menu with little descriptions, and it'll be like, okay, this, what do they call it? This sativa brand of this or this. I don't know the three. There's like three different levels of marijuana or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not big into it. But I liked it because they walk you through that, and then they say, okay, this is what we got for edibles in this category. This is what we got in smokables in this category, and this category is going to make you do this. This category is going to put you to sleep. This category is going to make you hyper. This category is going to.
Oh, I got an argument with a guy at a dispensary once. It was funny.
Really?
I was there. I was trying to shop for my roommate. It wasn't for me, but it was for my roommate. Little favor I was doing for him on the way home. And the guy's like, he wants like high THC. And the guy's like, it doesn't matter the percentage of THC. You should get this hybrid stuff or whatever, And he's like,
you
he's
want
trying
to
to push that. And my roommate was like strictly against hybrid. He was old school. He just wanted like high THC or whatever. So I'm like, no, I just want the high THC. He's like, no, this one's better. I'm like,
yeah.
I didn't even tell him if it wasn't for me. It's fucking annoying. It's like I just tried to get what my roommate asked for. Just give me what I'm fucking paying for. It's funny. Oh shit.
You know what? I hate to cut this short. I gotta leave here in about 5 minutes.
Oh, no worries, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Don't have too much fun. You're going to work.
You know what? Seriously, I need to go in and just babysit and watch the building. I hate that when I do that.
So, no
stress.
You watch the building. What are you watching for?
Shenanigans.
People doing something stupid.
Yeah, I just watched.
Well,
I mean, I'm sitting at the front desk of basically a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You're just watching people walk by, or you're watching people check in. Late at night, I'm just watching my computer screen, or whatever, doing a live stream of video poker or something. But I'll
That is cool. You can do that at work, though.
Yeah. Well, there's nobody around. I'm kind of in a cubicle basically, or kind of behind this bulletproof glass type of thing. So
Right.
I'm lucky to have a job, so I'm happy about it. But
Right.
but yep, I got to run. So it was fun, Jim. Good seeing you again. And yeah, let's work on a weekly poker tournament or something. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, let's think about some way out of how we're going to accomplish that.
Podcast and poker.
I can host the first one, and then we can figure out like if you wanted to host the next one, and we can rotate. Or if say Wayne got involved, Wayne wanted to host one, or somebody else, Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Totally.
Sounds good.
And we probably get some good views on that, and I know we all want that. We want our channels to grow. We want more people to, discover us. So,
is there people in your live right now? I don't have it up, so I'm not looking at it.
Oh yeah, but the viewership's died down to 5 people watching right now.
We got off topic and we're just chatting, so that happens.
Yeah, well, and then it's an hour and 30 into the thing. We did.
Sure.
I think we peaked at about maybe 10 or 11 viewers. So
it's all about the rewatches, I suppose.
Oh yeah, we'll get definitely people on the rewatch. Maybe people will discover it and search based on the SEO. They're searching for old.
We could always do a top 10 or top 5 of Vegas, depending on what you want to talk about: entertainment, hotel accommodations, things like that, to make it more interesting for people. I mean, we kind of ranted, went off on history a little bit, and
that's always fun, though. That's always fun.
Yeah, for us, guys who like that kind of stuff, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could talk about the good and the bad and the ugly of Vegas as well, though, too, and have a good time talking about it.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen it all, and I'm sure you have, Del. There's some crazy stuff there.
Right.
I haven't seen it all yet. That's why I'm going back at the end of the month.
That's why you keep going back.
Right.
I haven't seen any. That's why I'm gonna go.
All right, guys, I gotta fly.
We'll talk later. I'm about there too.
Appreciate it. See you later.
Yeah,
take care, man.
What you drinking? Rum and Coke or something, or just Coke?
No, I have wine.
Oh, was that wine? I thought it was like Coke or something.
Nah, just drinking wine tonight.
Oh, right on. Oh, it's
not a wine. I didn't want to start in the hard stuff like I normally do.
Yeah. You come back a little bit quicker than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we do some of those late night streams, that's a different story.
Right. Yeah.
But I wanted to be a little coherent, so I knew exactly what we were talking about if we did kind of go down history road when it comes to Vegas. But I think it can be boring for some people. A lot of people, they want to just talk about the Strip. They want to talk about the mega resorts. They want to talk about, the video poker or the slot machines. Or
which casino has the best odds, would you say?
I would say it's going to be off Strip. It's going to be more local. It might be a Stations casino. It could even be some of the just where you go in and it's slots only. And there are different ones in Vegas that they're owned by. There's like 2 different companies that own a lot of these little locals.
Yeah, you think the bigger the casino, probably the less odds?
No, I believe that it depends where you are in the casino, and that's still going to be a rule of thumb. That there's going to be other parts of the casino that are going to pay out higher. There's going to be different types of games that pay more always.
They probably rotate that too. Like,
oh, sure.
One week this one's paying more, and 1 week over there is paying more. Right.
Video poker bar top seems to have some of the best odds, and that's with the Keno as well when you're playing in a major casino. And I think that's why Del likes those too. Is you'll see some of the higher payout hands more often than you would if you're playing in a mega casino on their main floor. You get on these bar tops, and they see a lot of money in. There's ticket in, ticket out. So you seem to have a better odds.
You're basically the bar is making really good money already, so they're willing to be a little more generous with their.
When the bars are hopping, because right now they can be open, but they have to be at like less than 25%. I mean, they can't have them. So again, then they might adjust the odds on those. So you want to stick to the floor. If you're a slot player, you learn what has good payoffs and what doesn't, and that's why you see them rotate the machines in some places. In other places, they never move their machines. You can go back 2 years later, and you can go right to your machine that you played There's casinos where I went and the same slot machine sat in the same spot for 10 years.
Yeah.
But the rotation, like I like Cosmopolitan, and they have a good set amount of machines that don't move. And of course, you're going to be spending more money in those machines, but they seem to have more hand pays based by the dollar or denom that you're playing. So if you're playing a $5 denom, you'll see more higher payouts than you would if you're playing a penny slot machine.
Yeah. So do you prefer video poker as well, or do you like the slots?
No, I've been a card guy for forever. I fell into slots because people find it more entertaining when they watch it on YouTube. I'm a blackjack guy. I'm pie gal. I'm poker. I'm talking card poker.
Yeah.
Tournament style and cash is my thing when we go down. And I'm like he was saying, that was saying, is I like to play the guys that know what they're doing.
I was just thinking about something. So we have the $10 buy-in on our little tournament or whatever you want to call it game. The viewers can increase the amount that the tournament pays out by super chatting or something. That'd be kind of cool. Like all super chats during that stream could go to the winner.
And another thing you could do is everybody, when they buy in, they could throw an extra dollar in, and we could play a progressive for the first person whoever hits a royal. Then that money's paid out. So that pot could get big over weeks, because the royal is hard to get on a 5-card game. So unless we're playing Texas Hold'em, where then everybody's using the center cards, whichever game we want to play. I mean, we could play 5-card straight up poker, or we can play 7-card Texas Hold'em, Omaha high low.
I'm a 5-card Texas Hold'em kind of guy. That's what I've been. That's what I know. I don't know anything else really other than
when you're playing tournament style Texas Hold'em, that's where you have the cards in the middle and you have 2 in hand. So you have an option to play the board, or you can use the ones in your hand. I mean, it makes the game more interesting to actually see something on the board, to know kind of what's happening around the table. That makes it interesting. That's why Texas Hold'em blew up, and that's why everybody likes it in the World Series of Poker to watch, because they can see the action.
I'm just thinking of a problem. If we stream this, the only person's cards you're going to see is the host's cards, right?
Well, no, because we would use a digital platform, and what we could do is we could delay the stream by so much. You can delay your stream like 5 minutes or 10, so they will see all of our cards. That where we can't be on there and watching it on another device.
I don't know how we could get other people's cards other than the person hosting the stream. How could we get the video feed of their cards?
Well, I'm saying if we're using a digital format, we can do it where it shows your down cards for everybody. If it's a delayed stream, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we definitely have to delay it good, and there has to be a time limit to make a decision. You can't be just sitting here waiting to see what's on the video.
Well, no, you could delay it 30 minutes. That's what the World Series of Poker does when they were live. When they were doing the main events, they do 30-minute. That way they know that it's going to take a while before the other knows. Right.
Nobody's going to sit there with their cell phone and be like, oh, he's got those cards.
Right. And I mean,
I don't think any of us would cheat like that. But I'm just saying, we want to make it cheat-proof, too. I think it's important. The only game I've ever profited on is blackjack. Yeah, dude, I went into a casino with $20 and walked out with like 200 and something, drank Patron margaritas all night. Oh, God, I love that. I remember...
when you talk about blackjack, you want to go to Fremont Street. You want to play a 2-deck or a 5 or maximum of 5. You don't want to get into these big shoes that are 6 and 8, where you can play $5 minimum, and the cocktail waitress comes around like every 2 seconds.
That was awesome. I remember I won all that money, and then I get up to go, and the other guy on the table says, "You better tip him." I was going to tip the dealer. I didn't even know that was the thing. I mean, I literally come in with $20 and walk out with like 200 something, and I had probably 6 Patron margaritas. This is all I had was $20. It was a good night for me.
So 5% rule on your wins. Go 5% of your wins, unless it was a nonprofit night, and a lot of dealers understand that. If you only throw them like $5 when you're all done, even if you got a couple hundred up, they don't. Most of them understand. They don't know how much you've lost that night or how much you profited that night. Some nights where if I had a good win at Pai Gow, I'd throw them, a $100 chip. It just depends on your profit to loss. I mean, it really does.
I remember something like, don't touch the table or don't touch the cards, or I can't remember. There were certain times where they're like, don't touch or something.
Yeah, and you can't hold them with a certain way. You can't, don't take them over the ledge. I mean, there's all kinds of rules now.
Yeah, I was like,
some places it's all dealt hands up. Everything is dealt, face up. So it's right now during these times they kind of changed the game depending on what casino you go to.
Yeah, I missed that though. I want to do that again. That was fun. Usually when I go to casinos lately, it's just slots and spin, see if I win. Yep, and that's fun too. You can sit at a slot machine on $20 if you're playing these low bets, as low as 40 cents, 50 cents, and it's easier to do the slots. The poker is more of a thinking game, right? And that's it. If you're not like Dell likes video poker, that's a thinking game too. Believe it or not. You can make a lot of mistakes and lose a lot of money if you don't kind of follow what the kind of like the house way is to play the video poker. White for vlog, welcome to the stream, Uncle Wayne. How you doing? Welcome. Another fun one is 4-card Keno, digital 4-card Keno. Mm-hmm. You can play for like 80 cents for 4 cards, and if you're playing just 5 spots and you hit a 5 spot, you could win $240. I mean, on a basically an 80-cent bet on 20-cent card. It's really funny. One time I was at a casino with some friends, and my brother was there. And we thought we heard on the intercom, they called my name, said I won a car. We all thought it was my name. We were sure of it too. We got up to the counter, and the person had said a name that was just a little bit different than mine. Not very much different. We really thought that it was us. It was me. And I won like a $20,000 car. I was just like really stoked, Wow. Go up to the counter and find out somebody else's name that sucked. Damn it. We were at an Indian casino, and they were giving away a Ford Ranger and 2 watercrafts on their trailer. Their monthly giveaway. And that Friday night, obviously the place is jam-packed. People are drinking. And the guy that won, you had 3 minutes to get to the podium and give him your player's card. Oh, shit. He was 15 seconds late because he could barely walk. He was so drunk. Oh, man. And they moved to the next person. That's not cool. God, yeah, that was in Canita here in Oregon. I mean, and to this day, that's still a story because back then it was a bunch of us guys that had won that night just to try and win that. I feel his pain. God damn. Oh, he was lit. When we talk about lit, and you kind of. He probably woke up the next day thinking it was parked out in front of his house when found out it wasn't, because you hear your name and you could hear him across the casino screaming and yelling, but they said you have to be at the podium in 3 minutes to claim that prize. I would have been like, somebody carry me over to the podium. I'll give you half or something. Well, you could hear people screaming that because they knew him. He was one of the guys that lived on the reservation there. He was well known. He was always in the casino, but he was always known as a guy that would go outside, get himself lit, go back in the casino, because they didn't serve alcohol on that casino floor at that time. You had to go out and go to order it to have it. It's just kind of, I don't know at that time, that was kind of the rules in Canita and Warm Springs Reservation. And these guys, they found ways to just be lit in the first hour that they got in the casino. I'm like, where do you get, I bet they go out, they get their soda pop, Long Island iced teas and shit, fill up their plastic cup, and then come back in. But that's not the night I would have been that plastered. I mean, no, that's because the cash option, I think at that time was like $46,000. Yeah, because it was 2 real nice watercrafts, the real nice trailer, and a Ford Ranger that had everything you could think of in it. Damn. I gotta pee again. The beer's going through me, man. right back.
For those still watching, if you're thinking of doing a Vegas trip right now, look into your casino hosts. There's a lot of offers, even if you are just an entry-level card member. A lot of them are doing the 2 nights free with, obviously got to pay the resort fees. Some will also provide the shuttling to and from the airport if you're not going to drive in. Always looking to see if they have a rental car discount as well with your room. Some of the hotels that are doing really well as far as giving away promotional things for free rooms is the MGM properties. And that'd be like your New York, your Excalibur, not your big stays. Those places right now are offering like $29 a night. And resort fees are usually somewhere around $38 to $42 a night. So expect that. If you get a free room in Vegas, it's not free anymore. You're going to pay a resort fee. That's just what's happening there. Unless you are a top tier member, like if you reach like a diamond with Caesars, or you get up to the Sapphire Club with MGM, then they will waive your resort fees, provide you with shuttle service as well as concierge, but right now there's no shows. That's the thing. When the shows start to come back to Vegas, which you'll see Commanders, you're going to see them giving away free shows to guests. Free rooms. They're going to up your free chips and your free video or your slot play.
How's that Magic shows?
Daily. I get daily. My promotional box on my email is full because they want the people coming back, and so they're offering free everything.
How's that Magic?
Buffets, because no buffets right now. I mean, there's one. It's Wicked Spoon, and that's the Cosmopolitan, but it's table served. You don't go up and you don't go through the trough, as they say.
How's the Magic shows though? Like those are pretty cool, right?
I have been to some amazing shows down there, and really, Magic shows, they're okay. I mean, they're okay. It's
an optical illusion, right? Like
everything is, but I like the Cirque du Soleil shows. I've seen all of them except one, and everyone has been so entertaining. Actually, I've seen some of them several times. Yeah. I think they're the most intriguing because some of these guys really do some death-defying stuff in these shows. Ka at MGM, they do what I call the big swirl wheel with the 2 guys. They go on the inside and then they jump on the outside of the wheel. If you ever see that show, or if you look it up on YouTube, it's called Ka, K-I-A. Those guys are insane. Yeah. It's 2 twin brothers that do it, and when the show's running, and it's death-defying because there's nothing below them. There is no soft platform down below. They're up on this mouse wheel, and it's crazy. But the show itself, there's like $9 million in what basically the floor of the show rotates.
Shit.
And it keeps changing. It's never flat. And it's cool how they do that show. But Magic shows, if you go to see them, do the ones that have comedy involved with it. Chris Angel's show has changed. I saw his when it was when he went when it was combined with Cirque du Soleil.
I thought it was pretty cool.
What's that?
I thought it was pretty cool what I saw from him on TV.
Oh yeah, he is an entertainer. When we talk about it, he's just not a magician. If you want a guy that's an entertainer with that, you look. There's a few of the old boys that are still there. Well, they're not when they're performing. I right now I would go see like a concert singer when they're in town. We saw Elton John, which was amazing when he was still doing his Red Piano, which now he's touring the world when he's doing it now. He's not a resident anymore in Vegas. No. I'm trying to think who we saw that was really good. Terry Fader. He's the ventriloquist with the puppets, and he does comedy, and he can really sing. I mean, he doesn't just do puppets.
What about Elvis? Like, when's the last time he performed before he went missing?
1976 was kind of his fanfare year when he was going around. There's some great old classic videos of him on YouTube.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're talking a guy 45 years old, ballooned up so much, and he didn't look healthy.
Oh,
but
really?
He'd jump on that stage and he would still sing like you would not believe. I mean, amazing singer. Never got to see him live.
Yeah.
One that I have seen live when he was younger was Wayne Newton. I saw him out at Circle Star Theater in California.
Cool. Isn't he on that Christmas Vacation or no Vegas Vacation movie?
He is in Vegas Vacation. He's also in the James Bond movie. Okay. He has a show when before everything shut down. He had a sit down show where he would talk history, sing a couple bars of a song, and then go back into more of his history in Vegas, the people he's met, how he got involved, with some of the guys, singers that were considered to be involved with the mob. Yeah, Frank Sinatra, his Rat Pack crew.
Yeah, wasn't he part of the mob?
Frank Sinatra has an era back in those days, those late 50s, early 60s, where I would say that he had some friends.
Yeah. Now, what is the mob? Because there's the Irish mob, and there's the Russian mob, and there's all different kinds of mob. Italian mob.
Well, that's why it's called the mob.
And what's
Instead
the mob?
Of just saying it's organized crime.
This
is really what it is.
It's a gang of people.
Well, yeah, and then of course it's like a corporation. You have the boss, and then
what's the difference between them and MS-13?
That's gang. That's a gang.
Yeah, no, gang is
they don't have any real.
They're not as organized, are they?
Exactly.
They're like I'm MS-13. I'm cool, and I'll kill you. Basically.
Well, the mob for many years, they were so well organized they didn't have to kill people, and then it got to the point where your brethren would break off and create their own little area, and then they would start invading into your area, and that's when you saw in New York, it was a bloodbath there in the 70s. Really? It's just because the organized crime was just they were handing people their death sentence right and left when they wouldn't pay. If you were a shop owner in certain parts of New York, you were expecting
your rent to the mob. Yeah.
Yeah. They called it protection.
Protection. Yeah.
Or insurance protection. I mean, there's different names for it.
Basically, just give me your money or I'll kill you.
Pretty much. And then, you had a good mayor and a good governor come into New York, and they really cracked down. They stopped playing. And it's not to say it's gone, but it's not like it was. You're not seeing mob hits right and left all over the place anymore. I think they've reorganized and are playing it a little more corporate. No. They're putting their money in some smart places, but at some point the feds catch up with them. You're always going to see lefty this or one-eyed this guy or whatever.
When it comes down to it, the police and the feds are always going to win that battle. The mob is going to want to hide from them. They're not going to want to do things.
When the mob came to Las Vegas, there wasn't a whole lot of regulations, and they were able to kind of get around the gaming commission back in the day. And when you talk about slot machines, that's when you didn't want to play slot machines.
Yeah.
If it was a mob-controlled casino, don't expect to walk out with a lot of money. And that would be the same if you wanted a card game. All they would have to say is if you were really lucky that night, and they would just pull you in the back room and say, you're lucky, you're leaving.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep your winnings. I mean, that's just
really. Yeah,
but they did put the entertainers in there. They had some of the best entertainers in the 60s.
I wonder how many people they did that to that were the wrong fucking people to fuck with. I wonder. They come back with a bunch of there's
books. There's the Mob Museum. For people that like the mob or want to know more history, there's the Mob Museum down near Fremont Street. And it really goes into detail about just how in-depth they became there and how they bought off and paid off so many people to get out of trouble, and the ones that did not get out of the desert ever, the ones that are still missing, they're somewhere. We just don't know where. That's why they say, the desert's a lonely place at night. And I'm not talking about in the casino. I'm talking about in the, in the middle of the desert. Yeah, that's a big lonely area at night.
Bury people up to their head and then put fucking ants on them that bite them or something like that. I'm picturing that.
I don't think they're that nice. I think they just whack them and call it good a lot of times. Those guys just
there was sure that person's not a problem anymore.
unless they're trying to get information out of them, and then that's a whole different game.
Right.
And that was one thing to get the control there, that they were brutal.
The information is what keeps that person alive, as long as they have it and other people don't.
It's funny. One of the most infamous hotels back in the day was the Flamingo, and now look, the Flamingos is basically a corporate-owned hotel.
Yeah.
Still has that vibe in it, but and now they have basically a mafia steakhouse there.
Why
it's funny how
flamingo? How do they come up with a flamingo? How'd
they come up with the name? Actually, it didn't start out as being called the Flamingo. I think that was Bugsy, after he kind of got in there, changed that name, and I think it was because of his fondness for Florida. And then Flamingo was bright, and
Flamingo has something to do with Florida.
Where do you think? What's the bird of Florida?
I don't fucking know. Is it a flamingo? I honestly don't know. Oh shit!
My goodness, you're funny.
I'm gonna Google it, man.
I wanted to share a picture. I was going to do it earlier when Dell was still here. This is an old picture of my parents at the Flamingo, watching one of the shows. If you look at the clothing back then, that's my grandma on the end in the fur coat, my dad and my mom, and then my aunt and uncle on the other side.
That's really cool, man.
That is 1967.
Which one's your dad and your mom, on the left or the right?
That's my dad right there, and that's my mom right there.
Oh, okay.
That's grandma on the other end.
Oh, okay, nice. That's cool, man. The bird of Florida, birds of Florida. I got multiple birds here. Bald eagle, herons, columbidae, woodpeckers, ibis,
pink flamingo.
Birds. I don't see the fucking. Okay, should I just put state bird?
Try that.
What's the state bird of Florida? Northern mockingbird.
Well, yeah.
Why is
Florida associated with the flamingo? That's what
flamingo and Vegas called that. Siegel took over the project and supervised the building, named it after his girlfriend, Virginia Hill, whose nickname was the Flamingo because of her red hair and long legs. 2 weeks after the grand opening, the Flamingo closed down.
Yeah, I just found it was inspired by the pink flamingo because she reminded him of a flamingo.
That's interesting. So that makes a little more sense now.
But it's gone through changes because at one time it was owned by the Hilton.
I'm like, why a flamingo? It seems like, maybe a gay guy would choose that or something, So I
think it had to do more with the tropics, because when you go to the Flamingo now, they have an area, a sanctuary with the pink flamingos out in the back along by the pool. They have some more exotic birds, parrots, and things like that as well.
The flamingo is actually a pretty cool bird, though, I gotta say.
And the casino still got an old vibe to it, and it holds a good crowd, like that Thursday through Sunday. And it's a lot of fun. I've done a lot of table games there and had a great time. You running out?
I just had to make sure it wasn't Bang.
I was saying when you were gone that for people thinking of going to Vegas now, that there are a lot of deals out there, and before they just go to a website, like a travel website, they're best just calling directly to the hotel's reservation system.
Yeah.
Ask for a casino host if you're just a regular card player and haven't had any perks. They will probably give you quite a few offers, and might even, if you're flying in, might comp you back some of your airfare. So always
do better than Expedia if I just call.
Always better. No, I would never go through a travel site to go to Las Vegas ever.
Really?
Ever. Nope. You become your first time when you go to Vegas. Get yourself a player's card for the casino you're in. It doesn't matter if you spend $5 or $50 million. There's going to be a tiering level, and they're going to offer you certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it doesn't matter what tier level you are. They want to draw the people back. So they're offering anywhere from 2 free nights up to 5 free nights at most of these casinos. on the Strip, or even down on Fremont Street.
You're thinking maybe I could get like free stay and just pay for airfare.
Well, you're going to have your resort fees, which is something that we can't get around. It's part of their taxing down there right now, and a lot of that went into the Raider Stadium. So they say you have a free night, you're still going to pay your taxes of up to about $40 a night. So always be prepared. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like you have your house fucking paid off, but the government still wants taxes on that shit.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. Right. But when you get to a higher level in the casinos, you reach a certain plateau level, they'll pay. When they say free, they mean free. That means they'll fly you in. There used to be a point where I'd get stuff from Allegiant Air where they would basically comp my airfare. I had to buy it. When you got to the casino, you gave them your airfare receipt at the cage, and they would pay you out in cash.
Oh yeah.
And also you get your trip, they would provide you with some gaming chips that they don't have any value. You have to put them on the table. You have to play them.
I tell you what, if I make say $20,000 this month on crypto, I might go to Vegas, because that's a good chunk of change. I could just play with literally like $2,000 of it and go to Vegas and just.
Yeah, go with what you expect to lose. Don't go with what you don't want to lose, because then you won't have a good time. I tell you, when you go to Vegas, don't take $5,000 with you and say, I'm going to try and leave with the $5,000.
No,
because you're likely going to leave with $5.
And maybe you're lucky. Maybe your fucking $2,000 or $5,000 becomes like $1 million or something crazy. But
well, it's happened. I mean, like I told you, I was sitting at a table when a guy went over 300,000. So I've seen it. I've also watched guys like lose $100,000, and it wasn't pretty watching them lose it.
What's up, Nightbot? Welcome, man.
You always wonder where people get their money when they're sitting playing blackjack and they're playing $5,000 a swing at the Bellagio. It's always entertaining to watch, but they never flinch. These guys, whether they're up or down,
Powerball 600 million. Oh, that's tempting. I think there was a time where it was like 800 million. I was like, "Fuck, I need to buy a ticket." Shit, can you imagine if you won that? Oh, the things you could.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Walk away straight cash after all your taxes on 800. You're about 500, just below 500.
100%. I could buy an island in the Philippines if I wanted. Damn, a lot of them. If I just told the government, "Hey, I'll give you the 100 million for that island over there," I'm like, okay.
Think of the money when Vegas is on a roll. When they see those 45 to 52 million tourists a year. Think of the roll of money each night through a casino. Just one of the main mega resorts.
Amounts. I'm up $16 on just one little transaction that I made before this podcast. It's going up. Bitcoin's going up. Yeah. I'm playing.
Yeah, it dropped the other night. I saw it. It took a pretty good hurting because of what was going on.
Yeah, there was many factors that came into play. People were taking profits, but the dollar went up, and when the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down, and when the dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. So Biden come in with all his freaking stimulus is going to drive the dollar down and raise Bitcoin up big time. So get ready for something crazy to happen with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Like we might see $100,000 Bitcoin like this month or next month.
I wouldn't expect to see that stimulus right away. I have a feeling if they're going to keep going with this impeachment, that could draw Congress out for a couple of weeks. Even February.
February.
Yeah, think about it. The president will be out of office before they actually do a final vote on his impeachment. Yeah. What's the purpose at this point, other than to make it where he can't run again? They don't want him to. They don't want to be able to run again in 2024. So,
I was told something about. I don't know if it was you or who told me, but somebody said something about if they are to remove him, then he doesn't get this $200,000 or whatever for life. He gets like $200,000 for life after he leaves as president.
Oh, you mean that the presidential retirement? I don't know about that.
They're trying to.
We've had other presidents. We've had other presidents that have been impeached, but not removed from office.
Why does it matter? The guy's a fucking billionaire. 200,000 ain't shit to him anyway. So why you're not hurting him? You're not hurting him by removing that. Like that's so
No, I really believe the strategy of the Democratic Party is, well, one, because of what happened the other day, and two, they don't want him to be able to run again, because I think that he has such a backing or following still, even after all that's happened, that if he
Big
can
threat
walk
to
away from office without, because if you're impeached, you can't run again.
right.
If you are,
They don't
if
want him
they-
to run again because they know he'll win, probably. And they're trying to
I don't
remove
know.
him.
You never know, but they don't want to run that chance. And the Democratic Party right now holds the favor of the House and a split majority of the Senate, and now they're going to hold the White House.
Right.
So it makes it a lot easier to get your agendas done, which will be the first time in a lot of years.
Yeah, I do kind of like that part of it, but I know that they're going to waste a lot of money on some bullshit we don't need. I know that for a fact.
It's porking. They're going to pork bills like you've never seen.
Which is going to help me on my Bitcoin. So I'm just like, whatever, dude, go ahead. Fuck up the economy.
Yeah.
I'm with the Bitcoin economy, the world economy over here. So fuck everything.
I just want to see everybody safe. I mean, I just want the world to be safe. I want to see everybody get a vaccine if that's their belief, and that we can get this country rolling again. I want to see people out and about again. And that's the thing. It's they a lot of people are so scared to do anything.
I want to see everybody abandon our currency and go to Bitcoin. And it might happen. And
well, the future is
the world could be a better place if everybody worked under one currency. Somebody says that can never happen because they're too competitive or whatever.
No, and I don't see cryptocurrency being the end all. There will be a paperless way of doing business, but our economy is really driven by the dollar. I mean,
well, I know that they're trying to do something. They're trying to copy Bitcoin or do something similar, but they're going to be centralized, and people like Bitcoin because it's decentralized. So I feel like they'll just fail unless they can make it decentralized also. I don't know, but they want control. With decentralized, they don't have control. There's no entity to go after to sue, or the only reason why they can sue Ripple, that cryptocurrency, RXP or whatever, is because it's a company basically that runs it.
Right.
Whereas Bitcoin is not. There's no way you can go after. You can't stop.
But the big concern still with digital currency is piracy. You've got to be careful.
Oh yeah, you gotta use those second factor security keys and just protect yourself.
Yep.
Don't let people have access to your information.
It can be like a slot machine. You stick that $100 bill in and it may never come back.
You never know. But yeah, no, like, and then there was one thing they were saying, if they tried to ban it, say in the U.S., which they'll never do, then another country would be like, oh, well, we'll accept you over here. And then the money goes to that country. So the U.S. would never want that. They want to regulate Bitcoin and the crypto and try to get the tax money from it. If you can't beat them, you gotta join them, and that's where they're
But if you're a U.S. resident and you have a lot of Bitcoin and you sell it at a large margin profit, you better be prepared to pay taxes or spend time in prison, because they'll still come after you.
Right.
If you're doing any type of business in the United States, whether it's electronically from another entity from another part of the world, you still live here. So that's what they're saying is that you're responsible. It's like if I were to play poker in an international country and win a big tournament, I'm still responsible for the taxes here.
Yeah, that's why I want to win. I want to win. I want to earn a lot of money from it, and that way the taxes aren't a big issue. If I can make enough of it, it's like, okay, here, you can have your big chunk of money. I've made a bunch, That's fine.
But the smart thing is if you take your money out of Bitcoin, diversify it, put it somewhere else, put it somewhere where
I'm learning things. I'm learning long-term capital gains aren't as bad. So if you hold it for more than a year, you don't get taxed as hard. So I'm learning that. I'm gonna learn a lot more shit. I'm gonna become very smart here with this, and I right now I'm trying not to touch it. I'm trying to accumulate. I'm trying to put more in and not take any out. If I have to take out to pay these loans that I used, then I have to. But I'm trying not to. I wish Bitcoin would just fucking go up right now and I could pay off those loans, pay off my credit cards, and just be debt free and have a big chunk in there to play with. That would be nice.
Watch it because it will spike again, and when it spikes this next time, it could be crazy.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking like a rocket ship. I'm up some money right now. I'm happy, but I'm seeing these penny stocks have huge potential too. Like
Always.
I doubled my fucking money in one day. I woke up this morning like, holy shit! It happened overnight. I'm like, holy shit! I'm telling Ellen, and she's like, what? I'm like, I doubled my money. And then it was just after I showed her the clip of Jerry Maguire, and they're like, show me the money. I showed her that clip, but she was laughing at it. And I was like, show me the money. I was dancing so happy, bro. I was like, yes, show me the money. So, yeah, hopefully we do good this week.
Absolutely.
It is Tuesday. And I think it's ready to take off like a rocket ship. I don't think it's going to go down again. And they did say that it could retrace down to 22,000. But if it does, they said it's going to go like a motherfucking rocket ship up. If the second it hits it, it won't be there long.
Everything adjusts itself in the market. And that's the thing everybody needs to be ready for.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
All right. And I was laughing because this one guy's like, saying, Bitcoin hits 40 or 20,000 and then drops down to 8,000, and everybody in the media is like, "Oh yeah, see that Bitcoin, told you." And then he's like, "Bitcoin hits 40,000, then it drops to 30,000. See, told you." And then he's like, "Bitcoin hits 100,000 and then goes down to 80,000." They're like, "See, told you." It's like, dude, it's up like so much from where it started. Like, Bitcoin's kicking ass, and nobody can deny that, So
it's just who's really in there. We don't know who the big players are anymore.
Well,
at first we kind of knew who they were.
Billionaires, and Elon's talking about getting on this. Actually, I think he already did.
I think he's got money there.
He's got Tesla money in there now. I like that. And PayPal's getting in on this. PayPal's a fucking big deal. That's pretty cool.
When you could pay with crypto, that's going to be the thing. When you're going to start seeing that, you'll go into like a Walmart,
but why would
order your stuff, and it'll say, "We now accept cryptocurrency."
I'd rather spend my fiat because the fiat's not worth as much. You see spending Bitcoin when it's fucking going up. It's like you were going to buy that fucking gallon of milk for $2 worth of Bitcoin now, but tomorrow that $2 worth might be fucking $3-4. So you just overpaid on milk then.
Sure.
So I'd rather just use my fiat right now. Eventually things will be more stabilized and won't keep going like rocket ship up. I don't know. Probably just kind of stay in the same area, like kind of how the dollar does. I mean, it's declining, but
well, the American dollar does that. It goes weak and then it goes really strong. And then when it's in a certain point where the exchange rate for, European countries is strong, that's when they are all traveling here and spending their money over here. So it's a tit for tat when it does that, Yeah.
I have to take a leak again. Oh my God. That beer, man, just goes right through me.
Well, he's off again. Suggestions for people that like Las Vegas. If you have transportation when you're in town, or unless you don't mind taking an Uber, there are some off-strip casinos. Red Rock is a really nice one. That is a Stations casino as well. They have a lot of nice restaurants. They have a beautiful bowling center. Any slot machine you can think of, any table game you can think of, they have them there. They do have some good promotions as well. Another one is Suncoast, which is near Summerlin. That's another great place. They also are good at offering hotel stays. So if you're a person that likes off strip or likes to travel around the Vegas area, those are a couple of my suggestions. The other one is Cannery Row is another nice one. So, and they offer a lot because they're kind of a standalone. Just sharing with people some places they could stay in Vegas again.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I need to stay there soon.
Speaking of that, I'm going to have to get off of here soon. Abigail's got some homework. that she hasn't done yet. Do you want to say hello to them? You want to come over and say hello, Abby? Come over here. She wants to say hello to you, Commander.
Okay.
You gotta come over here. Say hello.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
So now we know who the world according to Abigail is.
Yeah. It's a good name. I like it. You never know. Could be a big channel. You gonna put up? You have content going already? Any videos? Not yet.
Likes, videos.
Oh.
Yeah.
3 videos.
3 videos? Nice. That's what's up. There you go. Well, I wish I would become a YouTuber when I was young. If I was, I'd probably be a Logan Paul or a PewDiePie by now. But
I'm thinking that she's going to be a Minecrafter. I think it'll be stuff with Minecraft.
That's
Game.
cool. Could be really cool. Yeah.
One day at a time. School
I'd like
first.
on that game again someday. You never know. There might be I don't know, a couple of weeks where I play some Minecraft.
She said bye.
Yeah, take care, Abigail. Thank you. Thank you for the support.
She's always in the background. She'll go on my other, page with nothing on it, or go on Mom's page.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that she had switched one of the names.
Oh, yeah. I was like, the world according to Abigail. I'm like, that must be related to you.
And when you first said it, I'm thinking, but I'd forgot that she had done that. But that's okay.
Trending Live TV says, got here late. Just got internet connection. Okay, no worries. Do you got like a new internet connection, or your phone finally hit the satellite or something like that? God bless you too. As 503 Inferno would say, may God baptize you. I thought that was so funny. May God baptize you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you only get that once, right? You get baptized once. I don't think you're supposed to get baptized more than once. I guess you could I guess you could.
I guess a cleansing.
Cleansing. I thought that was something to do with like being on the toilet.
I think every religion's different when it comes to
religion's different. Some have the one where it revolves around the toilet.
One you can go and talk in a box, and the other one you go out to the lake and they dip you in the lake. So I mean,
oh yeah, I think I did something inside the church. I think it was a box. I don't know.
You cleanse your sins.
It was at a Lutheran church. Got baptized at a Lutheran church. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was weird. I did it when I was 12, so it's kind of late, I think, because normally people get baptized when they're a baby or whatever, I think.
Yeah, well, there are some people that don't get baptized till later in life, when they become, like if they become a born-again Christian or whatever. I mean, it just depends on the religion, I guess.
Right.
That's another podcast. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
I think
talk religion. Why not? Fuck it. I don't have no fear. I can talk religion. I can talk politics.
I just think the RP, as we say, and when people talk about it, is religion and politics can either make your channel very large or make your channel disappear. Yeah. Because I see these guys that have the stimulus channels where they're talking about stimulus checks.
Oh, they're blowing up.
Well, 8 months ago, they might have had 500 or 600 people, and now they've got 100,000.
Yeah, I think Meet Kevin's my favorite one. There's a couple other ones that are pretty good too, but I like him. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the guys that are real informative, that really let you know what happened during that day. I like those guys because the guys that just want you to, clickbait you in saying, "Oh, 2,000 stimulus today," and then you go in there and it's just this. We're talking about it today. So
right. I know.
I would rather say today's talk about the $2,000 stimulus. I'm still going to click on it because I want to hear what you have to say. And the only reason
why I got involved in that, I would have a million views or a million subscribers right now if I would have started talking about that in the beginning.
All you need is the congressional minutes. Pull them up.
It would kind of require me to have knowledge of the politics and stuff. But by watching those guys, I've learned all that stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff from them because you learn
what it takes for a bill. it's you learn what it takes for a bill to get through the House, through the Senate, and get to the president's desk. I mean, it's truly, it's not simplified.
Mitch McConnell could say, "I don't want to call in for a vote," and the bill just dies. Like, that's stupid.
Well, and he's only got a few more days of being the majority leader, and then that switches. So
I sent him a picture of like a meme picture or whatever. It says, "Mitch better have my money."
Yeah, a lot of people said they were saying, "Turtle, where's my money?"
Oh yeah, he does look like a fucking turtle. It's funny. He literally does. Oh man, that guy though, man. Why couldn't he just say yes? You know, it was political suicide to not just go with it. You know.
Well, like we say, it's not over.
That's why we're more democratic now. I guess it's not official, but
well, it will be. It will be after they do the final count in Georgia. Once it goes through all the wrangling, which I say that's why I don't expect stimulus until after, it's somewhere in February, if there will be that, and they may pack it back into a bigger bill.
You think they're going to dispute the runoff elections?
What in Georgia?
Or
is that what you're talking about?
Are they going to dispute that?
I don't think they're disputing it. I think it's natural to ask for a recount when it's so close. Okay. And I think at this point it's time to move forward, get the ball rolling again. Let them get back into their seats, and let's get some bills passed. Let's get some stimulus money out to the people that deserve it or need it. Right. I shouldn't say deserve it, but those that need it.
Yeah.
And not those that got a hold of millions of dollars and then went to Vegas and spent it, and then the Feds show up at their door.
Now with that, I wouldn't say that I need it. I'd say I want it, and I'd say I've struggled my whole life, and it's kind of a nice little break.
You can use it, is what you mean.
I can use it. I'm not a millionaire. A millionaire would be like, this is a drop in the bucket. Who cares? You know, but for me, it's going to change my life to receive that extra.
If it means the difference between eating macaroni and cheese one night or having a nice meal, I for a family, I think that the stimulus is important. I really do. I think it helps people catch up on some bills as well. I mean, there are some families that cannot find work no matter what they do.
So I understand, like, there's people worse off than me, and I'm fortunate I got a decent job. But at the same thing, like, I don't want people staying at home getting more money than I make.
You're absolutely correct.
I think if I'm out there working hard, hurting my back with heavy ass garbage cans and shit, that, like, I think I should, at least get more than them.
Well, I think that offended a lot of the frontline workers, because there were those in the grocery store that, they make minimum wage.
We're technically risking our life. If this virus is so deadly, we're exposed to it. People at home that aren't going anywhere are not exposed. So they're safely in their homes getting all this money. When we're out there risking our lives, I think we should get a little kickback for that for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be smart with this, man. I'm investing this money. And when I become rich, I will share with the less fortunate, 100%. I want to do that. I wish I could now. You know how many times I go to a live stream and like, I wish I could just throw 100, just make their day, The feeling, it's such a good feeling to do that.
Of course it does. It makes you, yeah.
It's not only that, like, oh, Commander's so cool. It's just, I made their stream. They look like they're bored, or they look like they're depressed, and then
it lifts up the stream,
smile on their face, and there's all this energy, and it's just like, if I can do that, that's a good feeling. I changed somebody's life. If it was just for that night, that's a big deal for me, So
think about on your live streams when all of a sudden the super chat train starts. When that train,
oh, I'm so happy and excited.
Up.
I am.
Yeah,
I am, and I want to do that to other people.
We've done that where we've rated other channels, and I would have never known about Jen Vita's channel if you hadn't rated her. Sam Bam Page, a couple of them that and we all went in there, and they went from no excitement to excitement. And then I watched their channels grow too.
It's like you guys follow my lead, and you go and throw money. Then it's like they're like, "Damn, Commander brought me all these people throw money at me," So I feel like it's almost like I gave them money,
Mm-hmm.
You guys do that, so Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would love
Yeah,
to be
because
like
you don't
Mr.
have to do
Beast,
that.
though. I want to be like Mr. Beast. Like, I want to do some life-changing shit. Like, I want to
I
come
mean,
to
could you
somebody's
imagine that?
stream and just drop 10 grand on them.
Exactly.
They're struggling, and then fucking here's 10 grand, dude.
Yep.
Can you imagine?
Some small channel that's working hard has tens to.
I want to
10,000
make somebody cry.
subscribers. Yeah.
I want to make somebody cry happy tears, man. That's what I want to do.
Oh yeah. But you know, there are channels that love a dollar super chat for some channels is a lot of money.
Yeah, I've noticed that with the Philippine community. Like, you drop $1 or $5, and they're very happy. If you drop like 10 or 15, they're like, "Oh my god, it's too much," you know. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, "Damn, it's really not. Like, it's a little bit."
They're an amazing community. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, for sure. They're very supportive. They really are. You know, the one problem though is it seems like everybody that watches me almost like expects me to come visit their channel, but I can only visit so many channels, right? And I have to put priority on the people that support me the hardest. So that's a problem for me. And Ellen often says you don't support enough people or whatever, but it's like,
Well,
man,
it's difficult.
I'm so busy and to
When you're working a regular job, you're trying to support 4 channels right now. I mean, you got your gaming, you got your podcast. Well, 3 that are monetized, correct?
3 monetized channels, yeah.
But do you have any other channels that you still kind of dabble with? You always have to have safety nets.
No, I don't have anything else right
Nothing
now.
right now.
No, just the 3 channels. But I was thinking about doing a crypto channel, but then I was also thinking about changing one of them to a crypto channel. And I had thought about changing this one to that because I just felt like this podcast isn't what I thought it was going to be. And I feel like it's hard to get people to come on. But then when you and Neon come on, I feel better about the situation. You know, so you definitely help for that. But if nobody was to come on, say it a couple of weeks more have passed, I probably would be changing the name to something else. I don't know, but
well, I know that you can always reach out to the O Show too when he has time.
Right. You know, and that's the thing though. He's busy, you know, doing his things. Now he's back home, I think. So he might be available more.
Sure.
No, I feel like I invited him to this. I don't know. At least I hope I did. I'm gonna feel like crap if I didn't invite him to this.
He may not have thought he had the input, you know, being, you know, in a different country that's not probably been to Vegas. I don't know.
Totally fine though, because he could ask questions. You know, it's like
Sure.
I come onto this as a host, not knowing shit about Vegas, so I'm just asking you guys questions. So he could.
No, and like Del and I, we have so much. I would say more historical knowledge of Nevada, not just Vegas, as far as casinos. So I don't know if it bored people or not. You know, it would be nice to know what they thought about it, because that information is pertinent to how Vegas became Vegas in the beginning. It happenstance that it just happened to be that the dam was being built. They legalized gambling and forever changed, you know, the Valley of Vegas. I mean, it's just what it is.
People searching for, you know, Las Vegas history, they'll want to know about that. So I'll make sure I put that in the description and as a tag, so like people searching for Las Vegas history, they'll find this, and it'll be more appealing to those people searching for that. So,
I mean, like when Del was talking about Senator Clark, that's why it's Clark County. And people don't realize McCarran Airport. The reason why it's named McCarran is for somebody that had significant influence in Las Vegas, and also in Reno, it's called McCarran Airport.
Yeah, I need something called Commander. I just want that. I don't know why. We need.
Well, buy yourself like a Royal Crest. You can buy one online, and then you could become like a Sir Commander of the Falkland Islands of the Eastern Shore. I don't know. I mean, it's funny. Then you could say, well, I own a small part of a crest.
Could I be a king somewhere? I want to be a king commander. That's so funny.
I guess if you have enough money.
Oh shit! I want an island. I really do. I actually want my own island. That'd be pretty cool. A lot of fucking security on that island. I'm not gonna let people on my island unless they're invited.
Yeah. Right now, all I want is a big bank account that stays there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that my retirement keeps going up, not down,
Yeah.
because the portfolio is looking good, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know what kind of investments you have, but as long as you're like with good companies, then you'll probably do all right. But yeah, I think crypto is going to be a big deal for the next. You know,
I think for some it is.
for
It's wasn't my area. I'm a tech guy. I like the tech stuff.
yeah.
You
But I
know?
mean, the way crypto works is pretty high tech and
Sure,
pretty secure.
right. But you know, industrial stocks, commodities, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's like gambling too. I mean, you just kind of.
But I just proved it today that you fucking stocks can make fucking money too. I
Sure.
doubled my money today.
Sure.
Like, and you know, I kind of eeny miny mowed it. I literally did. I didn't do much research. I just looked at the ones that are the top growers for the day or whatever the other day, and it was up like 80%. And I was like, whoa, can I get a little bit of this wave? So I hopped on it. Last time I did this, it didn't pan out well. I didn't really go anywhere. But this time it paid off. And then I was like thinking, why is this doing so well? And then I did a little research and found out they partnered with Nokia and they're working on 5G. And I was like, oh, and then like people in the comment sections are like, this is the best penny stock that's working with 5G right now. And I was like, okay. And everybody's like $1, it'll be up to $5. Right now it's at $1. So shit, if it hits $5, I'm gonna be really happy. I'm gonna hold on a little bit. I'm gonna see what it does pre-market. You know, there's pre-market, aftermarket, and then regular market hours. It kind of, I've noticed it does different things on those times. You know, it seems like aftermarket, it's kind of hit or miss, but it seems most likely aftermarket it declines a little bit.
Well, it softens.
And then it depends. It depends on how pre-market does, how regular market will do. I've noticed that. So if pre-market closes really, really fucking high, then then regular market's going to take off. And yeah, aftermarket, like you said, softens. I think it calms down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some retracing. There's some people taking profits. There's a lot of shorts. You know,
sure.
Shorting.
And that's the big thing. And if you're a day trader, you better know how to do all that.
I'm honestly, bro, I'm almost out of the day trading. Like there was a couple of days consecutive where it was day trading Bitcoin and I was taking profits in Ethereum, but now it's like, it's so stressful, man. I just kind of want to hold on. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. You need to do. What I would do is once in a while on your podcast, just kind of share what you were doing. I think that'd be interesting for some people because I noticed your Bitcoin, even though it was a short video podcast, you seem to get a lot of hits on it. So because people are interested in that, they like that. You know,
people are searching like that, like crazy. And I kind of envy that MM Crypto guy. Jesus, he lives in Dubai, and he got 100,000 views on a video he put up this morning. And yeah, there's people coming in. I watched somebody super chat him like 600 pounds just to say, hey, let's have coffee sometime. Like, Jesus, somebody paying 600 pounds to go have coffee with him. And then he was like, no, I don't really do that. Sorry. I'm like, Jesus. He's sitting in a really nice penthouse in Dubai too. Like, and I watched one of his videos. He was like, on this trade, I took $720,000 in profit. And on this trade, I'm like, what the F? You know, one trade, 720 grand. Can you imagine how happy you would be? Jesus.
Well, you got to think that the amount of money he has to swing. That's some swings. Then you're taking some high risk, and if you are not watching it,
he reads the charts. He's like an expert TA. Like he reads those.
Right.
Technical analysis. That's all he does. And He's really good at it. He predicts shit. I've followed his advice, and he's right most of the time. But
it's like horse racing. I would tell people, about stock. It's like horse racing. If you're going to go bet your hard-earned money, buy a racing forum. Know who's in the race. How many times that horse has finished, first, can't or come in, as they call it. What jockey's on it? How old's the horse? What's it been through? What tracks is it good on? What weather is it? I mean, if you don't, it's like anything. If you're buying a stock, you need to know who's running the company.
You minimize your gamble.
What's the future of the company? What's happening today?
How much profits have they made? How much debt do they have? How well are they doing on paying their debt? A lot of those things are important, right?
So yeah, like if they're getting ready to read the reports and you have kind of an inside that they're going to show some great numbers, you want to jump in before things change. Yeah. It's like watching the casinos trades. We know that right now their numbers are down. So when their reports come out, it's going to affect the stock.
For me, example, I'm not going to say how much money I have, but I have a lot of debt to make how much money I have in there. So I am taking a little gamble there, but I really think that's going to pay off in a big way for me. And
right now, the average American credit card debt is over $30,000.
Okay, well,
that kind of tells you where we have gone.
I'm way smaller than that as far as credit card and loan debt. Actually, if you count student loan and car loan, then I'm over that. But if you
then maybe you're hoping that Joe Biden will do the forgiveness of up to $50,000 in student loans.
I am hoping. I think that's going to skyrocket my credit too. The moment that comes off my credit report, I think that's going to bring me up a lot of points. I owe about 18,000 currently, so if that goes away, that'll be sweet. I owe 8,000 on the car. It'd be nice if he'd wipe out car loans. Can you
not gonna happen?
Just wipe out my car loan. I want to put a down payment on a Lambo. I need to get my car loan paid off. Shit, I wish.
I'm gonna have to run, Commander. I got to get this one under schoolwork. Mama's in the background saying, "Got to get it done."
Yeah, no worries, man.
Have a good evening.
Spending the time, man. I really appreciate you.
I'll see you later.
Have a good night.
Take care.
All right, guys. Well, that was fun. Trending Live TV, thank you for being here. Reading chat, especially now the recession is here because of the pandemic. Yeah. Whether you had a nice job before, but company was hit by clients who suffered the COVID and made us shoulder it. Especially for us solo parents, hoping this COVID stops already. Trending, you have a kid? I didn't know you had a kid. That's interesting. Didn't know. Yeah, I believe still God is good all the time. Leaving him these situations we are having now. Yeah, Ellen tells me things like, when I come to the Philippines, she's worried about me, being on the plane. People are catching the virus like on the planes. She's worried about that, and she's worried about when she hops on a plane. Those are valid concerns. Just hopefully have enough money to buy the whole row of seats and nobody sits next to me. No, I'm just kidding. But on all seriousness, man, I have faith that God would not do that to us. Like, we're not going to get that. And if we got that, we would beat that. I have faith God will not do us like that, man. Not my time. I have so much fire and so much life inside of me that I know for a fact I'm going to be here for a while and I'm going to do some positive things. And I'm not ready. It's not my time. And more and more, I feel like Ellen is like the one for me. So nothing's going to happen to her either. So I have a lot of faith in all that. I have faith in God that he won't let anything happen to us. We're not ready to go yet. And then you know what else? I went my whole life to find someone like her. So I know he wouldn't take her away from me. I finally found somebody like I really feel like that's the one, you know. I I don't know if y'all even like have found that or know what that's like, but when you're sure about someone, um, you know, you want to pursue them at full force at all costs, whatever it takes to be together with that person. So that's where I'm at now, and yeah, I really don't think God would let anything happen to us. So we will see each other, and I often tell her, let's be positive, let's be hopeful. We don't know what's going to happen. April or May or whatever. We don't know what the whole virus situation is going to be like. Whether there's going to be quarantines or we're going to be able to move. Am I going to be able to go to that country? We don't know, right? So let's just be hopeful. Let's be positive, and hope that we can make things happen the way we want them to happen, man. I know I'm working really hard to make this happen. And, my investments in cryptocurrencies are for my future. I really feel like I'm going to retire from that. But I don't like the idea of like retiring and doing nothing. Like, I'm always going to have like some kind of business or some kind of income stream, no matter what. Whether I'm working at the retail store, cleaning bathrooms or what, no matter what, until I'm like 100 years old or whatever, I'm always going to be doing something. Like, I'm not the type that would retire and just do nothing. Like, everything has to have some kind of benefit, some kind of value, monetary wise, that's the way I operate. My brain only looks at numbers and money, and I don't know. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, as long as like when I finally get there and finally get that success, that like I use that properly, and I'm not stingy and selfish with my money. I know like a lot of people got rich by being stingy, but I just want to get so well off that like I don't have to be stingy to be well off. I want to help people. Because I know I struggled and other people struggling, I want to help them, and I think a lot of things in life, as far as like what's important in life, I think knowledge, out of all the things, I think knowledge is a big thing. So if I master something, then I want to share the knowledge, so I can do that here on YouTube. I have a platform. I can educate people on stuff. And I talked to Ellen earlier. She says, you gotta make another video, like organic video. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna make. And it's like, maybe it'd probably just be a video about cryptocurrency. And we were kind of talking about how like the people from the Philippines, maybe they don't understand that or they're not interested in that. I'm like, they can benefit from that. Like people in the Philippines that are struggling right now, like, even if they put $1, $5, $10, whatever, they can benefit from this. Like $5 can go a long freaking ways, man. If you put your $5 in the right place, and if you consistently put $5, say every week, every 2 weeks, or whatever, it's gonna amount to a lot eventually. I think I watched a video recently where some guy was talking about how to make $1 million with $100 or something like that. And I'm like, just thinking about that, it's just crazy, like that's even possible. But it is, guys. And the way you pull something off like that is a lot of research, a lot of knowledge of what you're doing to do that. Not very often do people just like throw down that kind of money and just get lucky, and get the money, So that's all I do now is I research this stuff. And I'm hoping that I double my money this month. If I can double this money this month or by the end of next month, then I can pay off my loans and get out of debt. I think it's important to get out of debt because less outgoing, more incoming is better. That's how you grow wealth, right? But the reason why I got loans to invest is because I felt like I wasn't playing with enough to ride this immediate wave that's happening right now. You know what I mean? So I feel like, things are exploding right now with Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrencies, and there's potential to double, maybe 5 times your money right now. In my opinion, I think that I would really believe that. And so I was like, I need the bank's money. I'm playing with the bank's money. They want to charge me 20, 30% interest. Fine. I'll double my freaking money in a month and pay them back and then have profit. So that's what I've been doing. And I get that that's like a little gamble, a little bit of risk, but I'm willing to take a little risk to have a huge reward, to have a big future. Like I said, when you invest in something, you minimize on your risk by doing research, but there's always that gamble. And I laugh sometimes. These guys that report on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, they're like, it's going to go up. Oh my God, buy Bitcoin now. And then it doesn't do anything, or it's going down and it doesn't go down. I think that when it comes down to it, it's the most unpredictable thing as far as what's it going to do today? What's it going to do this week? But we know one thing's for sure. We can predict that it's probably going to go up eventually. Right? So I'm getting a little bit away from day trading, buying low, selling high, buying low, selling high, doing these multiple trades in a day. I'm getting away from that a little bit. And I'm thinking just need to hold, or as they say in the crypto community, hodl. They say hodl. I guess hodl is like somebody misspelled the word hold. HOLD is how you spell hold, but they spelled it HODL. And now it's kind of like, it was like a joke or whatever, but now it's like an actual thing in the crypto community where they just say hodl your Bitcoin, which means hold. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to hold on to it. And I'm hoping within the next month, we're double or 5 times our money. If I can just get double, all the loans are paid. And I'm in a way better standing than I was just a month ago. So then from there, what am I going to do when, say, Bitcoin hits $100,000 a Bitcoin? Am I going to hold from there? Oh, that's a tough one. I might sell it all off and get into some kind of altcoins, some new startups that are promising. Maybe I'll diversify the money out in a bunch of different ones, because if you just get the right one could make 1,000 times your money. If you put $100 on it, $100 times 1,000 is a big chunk of change. So I was thinking I'd spread it out a little bit and try to hit one of those. That's probably my next strategy once Bitcoin hits 100,000, 200,000. Maybe I would still hold some. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun for me. And to see my penny stock today double in price was really nice. And people in the comment section saying it's going to go up much more is pretty encouraging. So we'll see tomorrow. Technically about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. is when pre-market starts for, I don't know if it's all the exchanges or just Webull, but I'm on Webull. That's where I'm trading my penny stocks. I don't really mess with big stocks. I just feel like big stocks, they're, more per share. And so you can't get very many shares of it. And unless they double in price, which is very rare for something that's big, then you're not going to make a ton of money. So it's not like it can't happen. But I feel like people, with newer companies, startups, something brand new, could become something huge in a short amount of time. So you just got to pick the right one. Looks like I did that. I picked one, and as like I said, I eeny miny mowed it, man. I was just looking at the thing, and it said this one went up 80%. I was like, fuck, let me get some of that action, And then today it went up, God, I don't know, like another 80% or something crazy. And yesterday it went up too. So I'm up like double my money. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it, learning about Las Vegas. I'm learning about it. Someday I'm going to visit Vegas. I think it'd be really fun. Maybe soon. You never know. If Bitcoin pays me well, maybe I'll be there next month to visit. You never know. That could happen. All right. Virus is nothing to him. He is waiting on us. He is reaching his hand to us. Just pray and have faith. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's have faith. Let's be positive. Let's not worry. Confidence is a big thing. It's a powerful thing. The mind is a powerful thing. So if your mind believes that you will defeat something, you're probably going to defeat that. It's when people give up. It's when people have doubts. It's when they lose the battle. So never give up. Never surrender. Never have doubts. Always believe in yourself. You can accomplish any freaking thing you want to accomplish. Nobody is, better than somebody else. Like, we're all made of the same, and we all have great potential. And most people don't reach much of their potential. So just keep that in mind. Know that you have huge potential, and you can achieve great success, guys. Like, it's really not hard. It's just work hard and focus and try to do better. Try to learn. That's it. Apply yourself. Make effort. I think that's the big thing. And just don't give up. Anyways, guys, I love you guys, man. Smash that like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could share this thing out, I'd really appreciate you. You guys would be awesome. I think I'm just going to watch crypto and hang out. I don't know. Feeling pretty buzzed. Had enough of these and fireball shots. And probably not going to do anything tonight. But I'll do a great gaming stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll make a video also, which will go up on a later date. I don't know. But yeah, guys, take care. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys soon. Peace out.